that lowers the cost of health care coverage obtained through Affordable Care Act marketplaces.
We are in this fight until we win this fight for all of you. Cancel the cuts, lower the costs, save health care.
House Speaker Mike Johnson.
I said, as soon as the government was open, we would turn our attention to health care and all the other issues that are out there.
Ben Thomas, Washington.
Driverless cars will soon be hitting the highway. Waymo says its robo-taxis, already a common sight on some U.S. city streets, are expanding their routes to freeways and interstates around San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Phoenix. The company says other regions will get highway service soon. A federal appeals court has heard arguments about a spending law that stopped Medicaid reimbursements for Planned Parenthood, the nation's largest abortion provider. The law passed in July and targets organizations that provide abortions and receive over $800,000 annually from Medicaid. The appeals court in September allowed the law to remain in effect while appeals are ongoing. Stock futures slightly lower this morning after the Dow hit a high yesterday. More from townhall.com.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/Mike.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Starbucks workers are on strike at dozens of stores around the country.
More than 1,000 unionized Starbucks workers are striking at 65 stores starting today. This is Starbucks Red Cup Day, in which the company gives away reusable cups to customers who buy a holiday drink. It's one of Starbucks' busiest days of the year. The union representing Starbucks workers says the striking employees are protesting a lack of progress in labor negotiations with the company. Starbucks Workers United says the walkout will impact stores in 45 cities. Starbucks says fewer than 4% of its U.S. stores are unionized, and most will operate normally. I'm Mike Hempen.
President Trump is urging Israel to pardon Prime Minister Netanyahu in a corruption case. He sent a letter to Israel's president calling it a political, unjustified prosecution. Townhall.com. The U.S. government is no longer making pennies. We get details from correspondent Rich Thomason.
President Trump ordered its demise because it costs nearly 4 cents to produce 1 penny. The mint has been making pennies in Philadelphia since 1793, the last one being produced this week. There are billions of pennies in circulation. Proponents say that without them, cash payments are rounded to the nearest 5 cents, making it quicker to complete a sale. Rich Thomason reporting.
Major League Baseball's Cy Young Awards honoring the sport's best pitchers have been announced. Paul Skeens won the National League Cy Young Award in a unanimous vote, becoming the first pitcher in 40 years to win Rookie of the Year one season and a Cy Young the next. In the American League, the winner was Detroit Tigers ace Tarek Skubal, who captured the award for a second straight year. More at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy Thursday, everybody.
Ah, yes. Welcome to it.
Yeah, it's a busy Thursday, believe it or not. High school volleyball playoffs. Fire up here today. The tournament. Got It Rockets have made it, and they are, I'm assuming, in Rio Rancho, if not, maybe on their way. But their first game will be at 4 p.m. today.
Yes.
And then if they win, they'll play again tomorrow, and then I think at like 3 tomorrow. But if they lose, it's an earlier time. But anyway, the volleyball playoffs do start today. Here's how we're going to bring them to you. Because of the nature of the volleyball playoffs, we can't do video because we don't own those rights. So we are going to have audio only of all of the volleyball broadcasts, online only at ksvptv.com. For Got It Rocket, it'll be in the Got It Rocket channel.
Yep.
Artesia Bulldogs as well. They're also in the playoffs. They play at 4 o'clock today. They're on the opposite side of the bracket as Goddard. We'll have that game for you, audio only, obviously, at ksvptv.com and the Bulldog channel.
Yes.
Now, whatever games Goddard plays tomorrow and Saturday, we will have for you on ksvptv.com, audio only there. The reason we're not doing it on the radio is because we've got Roswell Coyote playoff football Friday night. We got Goddard Rocket playoff football Saturday afternoon. And we would have to, so we could bring you like the early games on the radio, but by the time we got to the more important ones, we can't do it because we're doing playoff football.
Your words, not mine, man. The more important, I mean, they're all important, but these are playoff football.
What I mean is, what I'm saying is like the first round of the playoffs, but as you get to the semifinals that are more important games,
absolutely,
we can't bring them to you on the radio because we're doing a football game.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So what, not waiting over one sport or the other. That's not what I'm trying to do.
No.
But so that way we can satisfy our volleyball fans by, you got one place, you'll catch every game from start to championship. And then football we'll have here on the radio, of course, the Coyotes, right here on the radio Friday, beginning at 6:30 p.m., kickoff at 7. We did get permission to video that one, so we will have live streaming video at ksvptv.com for that one. Unfortunately, for the Goddard broadcast on Saturday, Lovington procured the video rights, so we will have audio only for Goddard. So it'll be a radio only and audio only broadcast at ksvptv.com. Artesia, we did procure the rights for that one, so for the game, their game on Saturday, you'll be able to watch that in the Bulldog channel at KSVP. So the only one we couldn't get video for was the Goddard game because Lovington picked that up. So.
But the best way to enjoy that game, the Goddard game, is to go into a completely dark room, close your eyes, just listen to the game, and let the Chris's paint a mental picture for you.
Well, here's the thing. It'll be a Chris.
Okay.
With, I'm not sure if they blocked down there. I know they're getting somebody, because Chris Deck is in Rio Rancho.
Oh, okay.
So Chris Deck is going to be calling volleyball for you all the way up to Saturday. So Chris, unless he's got that Harry Potter clock spinning jobber, cannot be at the football game on Saturday.
Although if he pops up, you might want to start asking questions.
And to be honest, if we have Chris on Saturday, that means volleyball got knocked out early, which means he had time to come back. So we kind of don't want to see Chris on Saturday.
Sure.
We want to hear him on the online. Now, that being said, I got to tell you one other thing. If the Goddard Rockets do make it to the volleyball championship game on Saturday, we will put that on the radio because at that point football will be done, and we got time.
We've got airspace.
So we'll put that. The championship game will be same place as the audio. That will not change, but we'll add on a radio broadcast there too. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. They got to win a few volleyball games, other ball games. Win a few ball games before they get to that point. There, so.
It's funny. I remember when I never played sports, but I traveled with the band, and the game is on your mind, or in our case, the show, the halftime show, making sure you had, all your sets where you were supposed to be and you knew your music.
Right.
But there was always that one part of the brain that's just like, I wonder what food we're going to have that I haven't had in a while. For me, the one experience that I remember was going to the we were playing at the state. We were playing. The band was at the state championship game at Piedra Vista for Roswell High.
Right.
I think it was on the way home from that trip. We stopped at Fuddruckers.
Ooh.
And it was glorious.
Oh yeah.
That's where I learned just how much burger is too much burger.
They don't exist anymore, right?
They have a few locations still, I think, remaining, but a good chunk of them did.
Is
close
there
down.
any in Lubbock or Albuquerque?
There used to be one in Albuquerque. I don't know.
I know
if
there
it's
always
still
been
open.
one with the airport, but I'm sure. And then I know there was one in Lubbock, but I wonder if they both closed down.
I'm curious. I'd be curious to check it out. But that was, I think, maybe my first experience with Fuddruckers, and I got a 3/4 of a pound burger, like a 0.75. That was too much burger. Turns out.
Well, they were known for their Fixins bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a Fixins bar like none other, if I remember right.
They did. It was the Fixins and how everything was separated. It says close. Oh, you know what? Okay, so they have a few locations in Albuquerque, but it says they open at 11 a.m. So I guess they're still there.
Well,
there you go.
Idiocracy can continue.
We've still got a few iterations to get through before we get to the final destination. I guess Rutbuckers.
By the way, Sherry, we accidentally stole or you left your amazing.
She brought a lot of presents yesterday, and I just assumed this was one of them.
Sean's using it at the moment. Well, maybe it was, but I think it was she was supposed to take back, and it ended up over here. But anyway.
I can confirm, works fantastic. I'm playing with it like a cat would.
Yeah, it
and
works.
Phone still aloft.
Yeah.
So.
And by the way, soup is gone.
Yes. Halfway gone. I ate like half of it last night.
Mine's Donski. And that apple tart thing was delicious too.
Yes, it was.
I don't know what you call it. Apple crumble, maybe?
She said it was like an apple crumble.
Yeah, it was good.
Crisp.
It was
something.
Good. And I don't like fruit.
Yeah.
But I like that.
I like the institution of oats into things. If you can incorporate oats into your product, your thing, I like it.
Yep.
Gives it a nice little added texture.
That's why I always get the warm fuzzies when I hear Wilford Brimley talk.
Oh, is that why?
Because oats make me happy.
I have been. So you only listen to part of Hall & Oates? Yeah. I only enjoy oats.
Wilford Brimley's like oatmeal for the ears.
And diabetes for the soul.
That's right.
Wilford Brimley really should have written his own chicken soup books. Just largely pessimistic, right? Getting old's not fun. Wilford Brimley. Of course, then again, then you're getting into deep thoughts territory. Those were always my favorites. Right. I love Jack Handey. I actually had a couple of deep thoughts books.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a minute where they were popular, like in the 90s there. Like they were a good stocking stuffer. People just got them for Christmas.
Everybody had their go-to or their favorite deep thought. Mine was always, if you lose your keys, if you drop your keys in a vat of molten lava, forget about them because, man, they're gone.
Good tip.
Yep.
All right, let me give you a rundown.
Yes.
For
I
today's
smell
show.
Coffee, which I think means our guest is here.
Yeah, because I don't drink it.
And we're not exactly a coffee coffee bunch.
You haven't drank yours in a minute.
It's been a good minute since.
Do you still put a stick of butter in there?
When I do go coffee, I try to go bulletproof. It's an old habits die hard.
That's right.
A fantastic way to drink coffee.
I'll take your word for it. But yes, Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck's going to join us here in just a few minutes, give us an update from last school board meeting and other things happening around the district this morning. In the 8 o'clock hour, Don Weld, wearing his Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hat, will join us, give us an update there. I know their Cranes and Cocoa event, unfortunately, got canceled due to the government shutdown. They're not able to bring that event. I don't know if I'm letting a cat out of a bag, but that'll probably be one of the things they talk about, but a few other things as well, too. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, around 9:15, we're going to replay our interview one more time with Carrie Moore from the Chaves County Health Council, reminding folks about the big stand down event that's happening tomorrow here in Pioneer Plaza beginning at 10 a.m. And it's an opportunity for folks to come by, eat. They're going to have food, kind of like a Thanksgiving feedings and type things, plus opportunity for folks to get in touch with services. If you need an ID, if you need flu shots, if you need resources to get in touch with veterans assistance or any kind of other programs to help get you resources. Also, if you have needs for homeless, for winter needs, coats, gloves, socks, hygiene supplies, things like that. This will be an event where you can get all that kind of stuff, and it'll be right here downtown at Pioneer Plaza with Many Hands, Food Not Bombs, the Chaves County Health Council, 100% Chaves County. They've all worked together to put this event together. So it's really a multi-thing event to get immediate needs like food and hygiene care and stuff like that, but also getting folks in touch with resources to get IDs, to get established so they can get an address, so they can stop being homeless, things like that. So again, that we'll play that interview for you here about 9:15 this morning. And then, of course, we'll have all of the features that include your newses of the local and national variety, Wall Street business updates, sports, and all that good stuff, too. Before we do that, I don't think my weather's working. So let me do this. I will do the weather au naturel. It is currently 46 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 38%. Winds are out of the west at 3 miles per hour. Today we're expecting sunny skies, low 80s, 82 for a high. Winds will be out of the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Tonight, skies will be cloudy. Overnight low 43 with southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, 83 for a high. Winds will be out of the south at around 5 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear with an overnight low of 45 degrees, so probably jackets for if you're going to be out at the Wool Bowl Friday, particularly if you're going to be second half, you're probably going to need that there. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, another sunny day with highs in the low 80s, 83 for a high. Northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour, so weather should be just delightful if you're going to drive down to Lovington to cheer on Goddard there. And then Saturday night, partly cloudy, overnight low 47. Sunday, also floating in the 80s, sunny right at 80 for a high. And then we dip into the 70s on Monday, low 70s. Yeah, 73 Monday, 70 Tuesday, 66 with a chance of showers on Wednesday. So looks like our 80-degree party will wrap up here on Sunday. All right, it is 7:18. We're going to take a quick commercial break at some point here. Let me click that button. And then
meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Oh, it is the weather there.
Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty good shape all the way through the weekend. We have a strong high pressure system parked in the desert southwest, and that's covering our area too. About 80 on the afternoon high today, except mid 80s for Carlsbad, and we get sunshine. A few clouds passing through overnight, low to mid 40s, and then we're expecting low 80s for the high on Friday, and we keep the sunshine. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Okay, that wasn't my fault. The computer lied. And it's a new one because I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm still just pushing buttons and seeing what this thing does. Yeah, we got a whole new automation system. I'm going to peel back the curtain. Wait till this weekend when our football guys got to get on it. They know sports. They know teaching. They don't know radio engineering so much. They're not, that's not their what we'll call forte. But anyway, it'll be fun. Actually, we got to work around, but never mind that. Not inside. But anyway, this thing told me there was no weather. It said no weather there. So I was like, okay. And then I hit the button, and it played weather. So now I'm going to play commercials. And then Brian Luck's going to join us. But you heard weather. I told you it was there. You don't need more weather. But you do need commercials. So a quick break, and then Brian Luck will join us on the other side. Good morning. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Have you ever been to an escape room? Generally, there's a set of clues that you have to follow to find the prize to get out of the room. It's a mystery that has to be solved. Many things are learned along the way, but in the very best versions, you don't know the answer to the mystery until you find all the clues and find the prize. The Apostle Paul writes to the young Christians in Colossae about a mystery. What's great about this mystery is that you don't have to wait until the end of the story to know the answer. The Israelites were given hints or shadows of the mystery, but they didn't know the full story. Paul reminds them that the answer to the mystery is Christ in them. When Jesus came to this earth and died on the cross for our sins and rose 3 days later, he made known the mystery that has been taught from the beginning of time. Do you feel like you're missing something in your life and you don't know about this great mystery of Christ? Then we encourage you to join us and learn what's missing.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 6,000 fellow Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success. That's what we're about.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
The octopus and the squid both have 3 hearts. That's why they eat so many Tums. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District back with us, Brian Luckback. Good morning, sir.
Morning.
How you doing today?
You know what? It's beautiful outside.
It is nice. This is kind of nice in 80s and very not November-like weather.
We'll give it a minute.
Right. I'll say you blink and I'm I already saw 60s. You know what? Thanksgiving weekend is going to be like a high of 32, or that week. I watched. It's going to be that weekend and be like, oh yeah, it's going to be 42 or something like that. But
let's go.
But it's 80 right now, so enjoy.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Never dull, never dull.
Absolutely. Of course, I'll remind once again, we got playoff action going on beginning today. Volleyball. Of course, the Goddard Rockets are still in here. They will play at 4 o'clock today for game 1. And then win or lose, they will play tomorrow. If they lose, they're going to play a lot more games tomorrow.
That's correct.
If they win, they'll play less games tomorrow. But we will carry all of the volleyball games for you for both Artesia, because they also are in the play. They're on the opposite side of the bracket.
Yes,
but
sir.
They are both in the playoffs here. But for both Goddard and Artesia, we're going to have on. We can't do video because of the playoff rights. We don't have them. But we will have audio only of all of the volleyball matchups beginning at 4 p.m. today till 6 o'clock Saturday if need be. Chris Deck is, I think, going there as we speak to Rio Rancho. He'll be bringing those games to you via our Goddard Rocket our video channel, even though it's audio only, but it's our video channel there at ksvptv.com. Same thing for our Bulldog. If you want to listen to the Bulldog, they're playing at the exact same time today, 4 o'clock. If you want to catch that one, it'll be on the Artesia stream there, audio only. The football will be here on 106.5. Roswell Coyotes will play, obviously, Friday night, 6:30 p.m. pregame, 7 o'clock kickoff. We'll have that for you right here on 106.5. We did procure video rights for that one. Right. So you can watch that game like you normally would, ksvptv.com in the Coyote channel. Unfortunately, we're not able to procure the rights for the Goddard matchup. Lovington has those. Not trying to, but I think you can watch it for free if you look it up through their deal. Like, I think if you go to Lovington's radio, just if you want to watch it. Right. But we will have it for you on the radio. We will have audio only on ksvptv.com in the Goddard Rocket channel. And it'll be Chris Roybal, and I can't remember who's doing the game with him. Ernie? No, I can't remember who it is. I don't want to say it now. No. Because obviously we're hoping the other Chris will be still in Rio Rancho calling volleyball here. So we'll have that game for you. That will take place 1 o'clock kickoff on Saturday, 12:30 pregame. And then if the Goddard volleyball team makes it to the state championship game on Saturday, that will take place at 6 p.m. We will put that on the radio because our dance card freed up after the football games are done. So it'll still be on the audio. So if you want to, I keep it copacetic, fine. Stay down your path. But if you're like, it'll also be on right here on 106.5 beginning at 6 p.m. on Saturday, too. Cool. If we do. So that's how we're covering it. And then we'll cross next week's bridge when we get there, when we see what comes about from this weekend.
Yeah. and who knows? And I just like everybody to know he did that without one note in front of him. That was all from memory right there. Yeah, if you have never been up to the Rio Rancho Event Center to watch a volleyball tournament, I mean, there's 4 courts going on at the same time. And it's kind of neat because if the two teams are close to each other, like an Artesia Goddard deal, you have the opportunity to kind of watch both sets of teams.
Absolutely.
And you get up there and you kind of root for each other a little bit.
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's fun to watch, and if that's your jam, you really kind of get into it. And it's a culmination of a lot of work. I know Roswell High had not the season they wanted, but I will say this: I mean, it didn't stop the girls from working equally as hard.
Absolutely.
And you get them up there, and you do they get to do their thing. You got football in the deal. Right now, it's a culmination. We finished up with some soccer the other day. Man, the fall season is over.
Yeah.
We got holiday coming up.
So basketball
holiday.
games practice and everything already
Monday.
fired up. I think middle school's already playing basketball.
Middle school, 7th grade, mid school's going.
Yeah.
8th grade's already had their tryouts. 7th grade will end before Christmas.
Okay.
It's kind of a facilities thing right now for that. 8th grade goes both before and after Christmas. Official first day of basketball for high school is Monday, so tryouts officially there. And then 5 days of practice, and then they're up and running. I think the first official day they could have games is perhaps maybe next Saturday. Don't quote me on that. I think we've got a couple.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, we're off and running with that. And then you guys, y'all have just been kind of busy, but your guys really get busy and up and going at that point.
Yeah, it does. Well, because once you start to flip the basketball, that's when you start to get to tournament season, and they play a lot of tournaments, and obviously Roswell hosts one of the most prestigious in the state, with
oldest in the state,
and of course together with the Goddard Holiday Invitational. Right. Once again, we're going to be doing all that for you, and if you've never done that, it's always during that week between Christmas and New Year's, and you either have family in town and you're staring at, you know what I mean? It's just a week of idleness for a lot of people. I'm telling you, get a pass where you can go sit there and watch basketball all day, and you can flip flop because there's games going at the Coyote Den, at Ground Zero for Goddard. And you could literally diddy bop back and forth and watch games all day, get in and out free, and enjoy it. And some of the best from the state, because it is the Pocorn. It draws some of the best teams from around the state. It's a tournament that people do covet being in. So it does.
What's kind of neat about that tournament, both the boys and the girls tournament, it kind of turns into like a little quasi reunion. You'll get people that will come back, or they'll be here with their family, something that they haven't done for a while, a year, 2, 3 years, something like that. And they'll just kind of on a whim, hey, let's go to the basketball game, and you can see them. And it's kind of neat whenever they run into somebody, or there's one of their friends' children are out there playing on the court or cheering or dancing or something like that, and it's fun. I mean, and obviously, like you mentioned just a second ago, get you a pass.
Absolutely.
Watching it on TV is nice, and it's extremely convenient, and we do appreciate that. But man, there's nothing like getting out there and getting a soda, getting something to eat, and just enjoying it.
Because that's why you support the kids too. Because that's usually boosters. They're ones selling the vending and all that, the snacks and what.
That was a shameless plug. Don't take no. That was exactly what that was.
Buy as many payday candy bars and sodas and whatever your proclivities are there, and support the. Throw them in the trash, obviously, because we don't want to mess the gym up. But.
Well, and I will say this, and I don't want to go down this road, but I mean, when we have businesses, and God bless the businesses, and they're getting beat up with fundraisers, and we've had a couple of them that have called and said, do you not give them any money at all? And it's like, no, we do, but as times have progressed, there's a want. And so that's one of the ways that we can provide more is stuff like that. So but again, just thank you to the businesses and to your entity KSVP and to Gene and all the work that's been done, and we're looking forward to a great winter season.
It's going to be exciting, and we'll do the best we can. Not every day's a victory, but we try pretty much.
And I have been assured that all of the roads will be just fine always.
There you go.
For every one of our events, and that we're going to have no snow delays. And by that, I just jinxed myself this year, so let's go.
Maybe that's what we can do. Maybe we can get the state to fund. We just put plows on the front of school buses.
Oh, have you ever been in one of those buses on a bad road? You feel like there's one on there.
I'm just saying, we killed two birds.
I tell you talk about people that have ice water in their veins. Our bus drivers that transport our kids back and forth in local and especially those ones that are coming. We did one a couple years ago through the valley, and about the time we got to Mescalero, it just went south in a bad way. And get back and spoke to the bus driver a couple of days later, and they're like, "No, it wasn't a big deal." And I was like, "Holy cow!"
Right.
I was like, "I don't want to see what a big deal looks like for you."
They sound like fighter pilots.
Yeah. So,
but yes, please support it, please. And
Sure.
and as I always, every time I've talked with Mika or Britt during our halftime interviews, I always try to do the plug for those sport passes for especially if you got kids in middle school and high school.
Oh, yeah.
You can save a lot of money and just get a pass. That way you can walk into any game and not have to worry about dropping your ticket price. You've already covered it. And it's obviously, and then you can do it by school. There's lots of options. Go to your school office or go to the AD's office here down at the main office. They'll be happy to help you with that.
Absolutely.
But we did have a school board meeting here a few days ago.
We did. November meeting, and it was interesting. That might have been one of the quicker meetings we had, and not for any other reason than just we had a lot of business as usual. A little bit of a lull in
a lot of housekeeping.
A little bit of lull in the action there. Didn't have anything that was really, really pressing that we needed to do. We kind of went over a few things. We've got a new billing system that we'd been asked to go through with our board as far as how we bill Medicaid for some of the services that our teachers provide. Our special education teachers, our speech therapists, and our OTs and our PTs, and got an opportunity to train them a little bit on that.
Okay.
And then just did some regular stuff. Like I said, it was normally, we'll have 2 or 3 pages of this, but not on this one. We talked a little bit about some fundraisers. One of the fundraisers that East Grand Plains is doing is a book company working with them, and through the fundraiser, they're able to provide books for the school as well as for the teachers. One of the things that's kind of happened, and you probably might know a little bit more about this than I would, is that the fundraising companies have started working like just individually with the people. So like, hey, here's the form, and there's a QR code.
Yeah.
And so the money never exchanges hands with us, which is super nice for our local secretaries at the school level that aren't they're not having to mess with that. So.
Well, and that's and that's just the thing. 99.99% of people are honest, but it just eliminates that possibility for the 1% to do what the 1% does.
Well, and the other part to that too, and when you're dealing with the human element, I mean, sometimes
it's an honest mistake.
Well, yeah, and maybe they miscalculate, and they didn't have quite the money in the checking account that they thought they did. Wrote a check,
but unfortunately, when you make a money mistake, people are like, "You sure it's a mistake? Double sure it's a mistake? We want to crawl up and see."
Yeah. Well, and that's interesting that you bring that up. Yeah. We're on our last cycle with an audit firm, so they can only audit you for so many years, and then by statute, you have to go to a different. You have to get a different entity to do that. And it seemed like this last year, the firm that on their last cycle, it was just like, hey, how many years back are you going to go here? On some of these things. And so it was an eye-opening experience for everybody to kind of go, we've always said they could, but this one really did. So, and we did okay. So I'm not worried about it. Be bringing,
at least they're thorough, I guess, right?
And I want that. I mean, that's the thing. It's interesting. I'll have people come and they'll say, well, you guys did this, and I know you're doing that. And I'm like, wait. I was like, I promise you, we do not wake up every day thinking of ways that we can do things wrong.
I'm just wondering, just thinking of do you think from their perspective, it's like, well, since this is our last time with these, whoever's going to look at it next, I want them to know that we did our job. You think it's almost a display of them, what it looks like? Okay, I was just curious.
No, and I tell you why I say that. I've been in education my whole life, and have never even remotely wanted to go into the business world.
Right.
That's not me. But a number of guys are different, and I tell my number of people, I said, you know what? I said, I love y'all, but you guys look at things different.
Yeah.
We just we approach problems different.
That's how I feel about IT people. Yeah. They don't think the same I do.
Well, I'm going to get back to the office, and I'm going to have 14 people waiting on me, but it is. Everybody has a place, and I need somebody in that office that it's a number. It's a yes or it's a no. It's not a maybe.
You
it's
need
not
a
possibly.
Person. Yeah.
It's a this is yes, this is no, and when they advise, it's you can and you can't, and I like that.
Yeah. And everything. Yeah. Any board entity group needs.
Yes.
You need the numbers person. You need the legal person. You need the people that's where their brain is, and then and guess what? You need the creative loosey gooseys in there too to kind of stir the pot and make a creamy middle in there. It's a big soup of people to make sure that things get done like that.
Well, and that's how our stew is made.
Yeah.
Really and truly. I mean, it's neat that people can recognize that. But Mike Sexton and his team in our finance department do such a good job with a small team, really and truly, for the size of the district that we've got and the amount of money that goes through. They're always on point, literally on point. So that's kind of neat. But that audit report comes in, I believe, in December as far as that goes. The government shutdown kind of pushed back some stuff as far as the audit company.
As it does,
Not the Roswell schools, but the audit company. We had a little bit of a delay there with that. So that should be okay.
Well, I imagine if they've got to have communications with the IRS, and if they're shut down, then that probably hampers their progress. So,
Gotta love the IRS with that. We're going to move on to the next topic here.
Yeah.
I had a big event yesterday in the elementary schools, which was our
the Thanksgiving
dinner. I had a Parkview Early Childhood Center. Had 542 lunches prepared yesterday.
That's a lot of turkey.
That is a lot of turkey plates. And I think Danielle, the principal over there, said something like 400 and something plates for guests, which probably means we had closer to 800 to 1,000 people roll through that building. That's my 3-year-olds and my 4-year-olds.
You're the busiest restaurant in southeast New Mexico, or at least Chaves County on Wednesday.
What I love about that day, and we were talking about it yesterday in one of our meetings, is, and none of us can really remember when it started. I think the cafeteria staff could probably tell me the exact hour, day, second that it started. But, you invite the families, and we sell tickets for, give or take about a month up to it. We had a hard cutoff this year. And then our schools were really generous and said, you know what, if you didn't get a ticket, that's fine. I don't have a turkey dinner for you, but you're more than welcome to come on in and eat lunch with your kiddo.
Come and we'll get you something.
The 2 high schools, and I do know when this started because I was part of that over at Goddard. Probably about, give or take, about 15 years ago, started sending like the teams, the sports teams, the student councils, the BPAs, all of those groups to go out into the schools just to help.
Yeah.
Because, normally we'll send maybe 2 cafeteria workers. Generally, it's my ladies. And, they will usually get out there and you talk about overwhelmed.
I will say, yeah.
That's one of those that is just, no, and it's an all hands on deck moment there at the school. And there's a lot of chaos. I mean, not much went on yesterday.
And unlike a normal day where everyone kind of knows the flow, one person, less than half of the audience knows the procedure.
Yep.
The kids know, but the parents are going to be wandering around like aimless, like trying to figure out. And then, of course, wherever their kids go, they want to go. And it's sometimes at a school, you're like, nah, doesn't work that way here. You got to stay here.
Well, and that's one of the other things. I mean, we have, in the last 15-ish years, things have changed in the buildings.
Absolutely.
And so hats off to the principals in my elementary schools, their teams, secretaries, their teachers, their custodians. That was a different day. But what I think is really neat about it is it's planned for, it's prepped for, and it's looked forward to.
Absolutely. Well, it's, and by the way, I know schools will work with their parents all the time. If you want to spend more time, trying to come in with lunch with your kids, just don't diddy bop it in there every day doing this, but they can make arrangements and say, yeah, I really would like to have lunch. They will.
Yeah.
I know every cafeteria staff will work with you and on that kind of stuff, and admin staff at the schools will work with you on that kind of stuff.
Well, and I had we were at dinner last night and had an individual. I said, well, that was really cool, but why'd they do it so early? Thanksgiving's not for another 2 weeks. And I said, well, you want the truth? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, well, the truth is that my wonderful cafeteria crew got tired of cooking over 1,000 turkeys every year, that when they got to Thanksgiving for their family, they didn't want to make any Thanksgiving for their family. So we compromised.
That's right.
So that week where everybody's kind of winding down, they get a chance to kind of wind down too, so that when they cook at their houses, they're ready to cook turkey again.
Exactly. Makes sense, because otherwise I'm thinking a lot of cafeteria staff there. What do we have at Thanksgiving? McDonald's.
That's right. I don't care. Just not turkey.
Swanson, hungry man.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But yeah, and again, thank you to the amazing food service staff and all the volunteers and the parents and that participated and made yesterday special for all the families in the schools. Like you said, it is one of the coolest events that kind of occur during the course of a school year is that Thanksgiving dinner, lunch, whatever you want to call that, that we do every year. And, it's evolved a little bit over the years on what you do and where you go and all that. But it's really a neat chance because especially if the kids get to show off their day to you. Yes. And that's really cool. And it's just... And then, then you get to brag on you a little bit or, depending as they get older, probably hide from you a little bit. But
Well, so segue, on Friday, our mid school and our high schools will have the same thing. And it's interesting because I've had people say, well, how many parents come into the high schools? I bet you guys are overrun. And we're like, yeah, no.
They're tired of looking at it.
And it's kidding. Well, and there's some at the mid school still, but at the high school level, usually it just kind of goes and does its thing.
And let's just face it. And I know, we all know, high school kids cannot wait to be adults. And the last thing they want is adults coming in and checking in on them they want to separate their social world from their parental world. And high school is not the place where that does well. So they don't want it anymore than the parents probably are.
Well, and the key thing for me is we do have it. So
it is there.
Optional.
It is there. And I imagine there's a few parents that go over and above to embarrass their kids. That's when you see the TikTok videos of the dad dancing in the parking lot or doing something to embarrass their kids.
Well, and from my years at the high school, one of the things that I think is interesting is we always would make the comment, you find a happy median, but this is not the time in their life that you disappear as a parent.
Absolutely.
They've hit an age, but that age also comes with a different set of responsibilities for you. And the kids, I was over at Goddard, happened to be there on Halloween Day, and there was a group of parents that were walking around with candy. And it was funny because the 17-year-old kid looked like a 6-year-old at the oh my gosh, here's some candy, and it's just like, how funny. Some of the things they want some things and then they don't realize the things that they're missing.
It's the beauty of that age is they want the best of both worlds. They want to be adults so bad, but when you give them a little adult, it's like, wait a minute, this good stuff's aight.
There's a benefit to some of the other stuff.
My advice to you: stay young as long as possible.
Well, that's and ironically, that's why a lot of people still teach.
Yep.
I visited
that
with
connection to youth. I could get that.
I had an individual that when I first started there at Goddard as a teacher in 96, 97, he retired the very next year, and that was one of the things from Goddard, he went to work in the oil field. And saw him later on in the year, and I said, well, how do you like your new job? And he goes, I went from 17 years old to 66 in less than a week. And I said, okay, I'm not following you.
It's too much like work.
And he said, he said, for all of my life, I hung out with, 15 to 18-year-olds. And now I'm working, with adults. And he says, it's not that I don't like it. It's just, it is a total different way of approaching things on a day-to-day basis.
The conversations are different.
I can't.
Yeah. The mindset's different.
And I see some of that as I've transitioned from the high school over to central office.
I would have never thought about that, but you're right. Yeah, it's a big... I got to ask of course, my wife deals with a different batch of people than he. She deals with second graders, not young adults. And so it's
they're young adults. If you don't think so, just ask them. They'll tell you. They'll tell you.
But you're not. Just fight what you feel like.
Well, another big thing that we're working on right now, not trying to cut you off, is we're working on our calendars for next year. So we've pulled out, had a committee, had give or take about 30 people in the room, and handed out a blank calendar and said, well, if you want to be done by this date and you don't want to start at this date, how many days off do you want in between and what type of stuff are you looking at? So
I'm curious because and I know the one week that everyone either seems to care about is that Thanksgiving week and like it seemed like most people were universal for the whole week off. I feel like we're starting to see a resistance on the other side. Like, stop, let's move that so it's longer here and there. Is that starting to get or is it no? People want that week off now. I'm just curious is that already started yet? That talk?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
So they're pretty dead set for a chunk of time.
Gotcha.
And my comment to them, I said, I don't mean this in a rude way. I said, I'm not with the kids. You guys are the ones with the kids. So we're going to go the direction that you're looking for. So we started going through it. Okay, we have basically two options that are fixing to go before the teachers. One is almost an identical schedule that mirrors this year, where we have our large chunks of time without a break, give or take. And then we've got another one that has us going Monday, Tuesday of Thanksgiving week with Wednesday off.
Okay.
And tying those 2 days that we're going to take out to Fair Parade. Where we would take the Thursday, Friday prior to the parade.
Okay.
Which it's like the 1st, 2nd of October.
Okay.
And go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
So make that a 4-day weekend in essence.
Parade day being Monday.
Yeah.
And then, and it, we color coded it.
Yeah.
So, you're looking at that fall semester and it's like, you don't ever have more than about a 2.5, 3 week period where you don't have a day of some kind coming up.
A little place where you take a breath and recharge, and put it this way, it's a grind. I'm telling you, as a husband of a wife of 28 years as a teacher, it's a grind.
It is. Well, and I brought that up. I said, I'm gonna step out of my box here real quick, but I said y'all have put a lot into that week's worth of break, and I understand that you get the weekend before it and the weekend after it, and that really makes it a very nice break. But I said, you're killing yourself to get to it.
Right.
To do this. That really cool. That's that.
What if you don't make it to the finish line?
Well, I didn't even stutter. I said, I can't be blamed for both.
Yeah.
I said, and I'm sorry, I hate to be like that, but.
Well, and this is a personality thing. It's like, it's just the people. It's like, do you like your thing in the beginning or the middle? It's the same kind of question on like how people eat. Do you eat all this here? And it's preferences here.
The one that's always hard for me is, and this one is pretty close, is when Christmas falls, where you could really take. I would rather have the time after.
Sure.
That's just me.
I kind of lean. I kind of like that. Hey, let's do a half a week at Thanksgiving. But but basically we got another week off during Fair Week here. We're right in before there.
Right before Fair.
That's a 4-day week. That's basically a week off almost in the school world. So I like that. I think that's a great. And then you still in essence. You go to school for a month or so here, and then Fair, hey, we got a couple days off here, and then turn around a month later, Thanksgiving, another 4 days off or whatever that would be, and then a couple more weeks, and then you're right into the holiday break. And so I personally think that's an amazing idea, but I'm not the one who's sitting in the classroom all day. So from the outside looking in, that looks pretty fair to me, but I'm not the guy that does that every day.
It's interesting. The first year, we did the calendar. It was such a time crunch, and I kind of arbitrarily made the decision as far as the Thanksgiving week. Okay, cool. So then I made sure that, I didn't take any annual leave that week. And Monday, Tuesday, I'm out in the buildings. And, oh, boy, I heard about it. So from that point forward, every year I'm like, okay, calendar committee, you're going to put together some calendars.
Sure.
And it's going to get voted on. And, yep, it's easy now with being able to do some of our Google surveys. It's a piece of cake.
Yeah.
And it's like majority rules. And it'll crack me up because I'll have people say, well, I didn't even vote. And I'm like, well, that's...
Then why are you complaining?
Well, then some that did vote still complain. And it's like, well, guys, I got it. And we're never going to make everybody happy.
Well, at least you voted. I'm not... Your complaining changes nothing, but at least you...
And, we've all got to have the same calendar. Because I've had people say, well, can't the high schools do something different or the secondaries? And I was like, no, they can't. Because people have kids in multiple places.
Well, and let's face it, too, there is a money thing. It costs X amount of dollars to operate a day of school in the Roswell Independent School District. And when you start getting a la carte schedules, that really creeps into that pretty quick on that. And that's how you blow budgets and things like that, too.
And I will say this, we did discuss, because I try really hard to get as many different voices at that table. And I had somebody pipe up and say, as a single parent, if I wasn't working in the school district, this right here would be difficult for me, or this would be difficult because what am I going to do with my kid? Right there. So we do look at that.
Sure.
When those things pop up, and it doesn't mean that we can always get it right for everybody, but we really do look at that.
Sure. Can I ask a question, not related but related here? Because I was curious to hear your perspective on this. Obviously, we had election day here a couple of weeks ago, and for the first time in a while, there was a day off for kids on that. I hindsight, a week or two later, what's been the impact from as far as people? Because I'm curious because, yes, I understand the point of doing it for the convenience, but I'm thinking, well, wait a minute. If now parents have to worry about what to do with their kid today, does that hurt their opportunity to vote because their kid's not in school, they're on toe with them. So I'm just, what was the feedback you guys got from that so far on that? Is it anything at all? I'm just curious.
Brian Luck's personal opinion?
Yeah.
I'd always rather have the day.
Gotcha.
And if we're going to have to juggle a day, if that was a day that I could have used somewhere,
right,
I would have rather used that day somewhere else. It doesn't.
Gotcha.
It's a Tuesday. It's difficult, as far as a working parent. A 3-day weekend. I could convince the boss. I could find somebody here.
I was just
as far as voter turnout and stuff like that. I really don't know. I mean,
I just know what parent feedback was. Like, was there a bunch of people complaining or one way or the other?
I haven't really heard anything. I know with early voting, I don't know that is going to get the traction the day off.
This is true. You do have a month to vote.
You can go pull that off. Again, as far as a teacher thing goes, that was again one of their little life rafts to get them through to get to Thanksgiving.
As a teacher, I'm sure they're loving it, but I was thinking as a parent, this might not be their choice.
It's interesting you say that. I can't tell you how many people the rest of that week just said, gosh, what day is it?
Yeah.
and I am so messed up, and I was just like, well, yeah.
And
they're
I don't know what to do with my hands either.
Yeah, it feels like Monday again, and I was like, it's really Thursday, y'all. So But I don't know. I think as far as we're concerned with that,
we were talking schedules and stuff. I was like, what was the feedback you guys got on that one? Because
haven't had any.
And I thought maybe there would be some parents that are a little salty about this because now I don't have time to do all this because I got my kid with me all day.
Yeah.
And I was like,
well, and I'll play devil's advocate, take them with you. And teach them the process. And
that's what I said. I said, this is a great opportunity to, I remember it was now back when I was a kid, it was when you had those curtains and the levers. And so you really went into this little hidden world to vote.
Oh.
And so mom would take me in there to vote and I got to pull the levers and see how it worked. And it was a big to-do and made a production out of it.
Well, I can remember when we first started the year that they said, you can go vote on your prep and how, oh my gosh, I can vote on my prep. And it, again, I don't know that some of the other hasn't changed. I mean, you still have people wait till the last minute.
Sure.
And
I did this year. I don't know why I did. I didn't early vote this year. I went on election day. So.
Well,
I have no reason for it. I just did.
Yeah, but I don't know. It was a mandated thing. I don't know that I would have stood in support or stood against. I mean, one of those things.
I was curious. I was just wondering what parents were thinking on that one.
Yeah, they haven't heard a lot. And again, I think those that are going to, take the time to do some of that will probably take the time to figure out what they're going to do with their kiddos.
Absolutely.
And you're always, as a district, you're always kind of having to cater to the whole gamut.
Sure.
So.
Well, and it's like my mindset has always been, because of just my experience in life, I always cater to the person that's never prepared. If that, you know what I mean?
No, that's true. Yeah.
And so I think in the mindset, most people are not prepared. I know that's not true. That's a 1% thing. But I'm like, how do you deal with that thing? And so when I immediately say, oh, they're going to change it up, people that have logistic schedules, that's already going to mess up their world. So how's that going to work out? So,
well, and I tell you what, I would love to use it as a community learning day.
Sure.
So like how we do with our parade or our President's Day or Martin Luther King Day, I would love to be able to count that as an actual day. And I mean,
encourage parents
think the assignments that you could get, watch the polling, get on it this time and actually give me this number. And if you're a elementary school student at 6 o'clock, get in and watch the news. And write down who's winning.
Yeah.
And then, go to bed at your time. And when you went to bed, who was supposed to win? And just get the conversation flowing with that. I mean,
absolutely.
But not every district in the state does a community learning day. So
so you got to do it.
Yeah.
I just saw the time. We're getting a little late on the tooth here. What other things do we need to definitely put on people's radar here?
You know what? I think just the schedule's coming up. I mean, we've got a big December 3rd through the 11th. We've got a lot of little presentations going on at Pueblo, AESC. We've got elementary schools, Del Norte, El Cap, Berrendale, Missouri, Valley View, Pecos, East Grand Plains, Washington Avenue. Well, how about we just say all of them?
It is the most comfortable building in the district right now.
And
the Pueblo Auditorium.
I tell you what, if it's cold outside, we'll have it nice and toasty, and if it's both, we'll have it amenably set for everybody. The arts, the CLC group that comes in and does music and art with the kids, they have their little performances there.
It is still. It's a classically old theater. I mean, as far as the decor and everything, but it's a beautiful place to watch a performance.
It
or
is
something,
and it's
a great
surprisingly fairly comfortable.
It is. It's very comfortable
for as old as those chairs are.
It's. I got to be honest. I dig hanging out in that area because I feel like I'm like back as a kid almost. Just the like hanging out in like places in the 70s. Just where I grew up. In the 80s and. Buildings like that building and the atmosphere feels very like home to me.
It does.
Yeah.
The other thing too, real quick, if I can.
Yeah.
If you are coming up or getting invited or doing things at the schools and parties, etc., celebrations, assemblies, different stuff like that, just please remember, things have changed. If you're not a frequent flyer coming in and out of there and you kind of don't know the routine, just please be patient.
Absolutely.
You may be asked to show an ID. That's darn standard, guys. So,
your children inside that school are the priority A asset. They will do anything and anything in their power to protect your kids.
Yep.
Therefore, to make sure that your kid comes home safe to you every day, there's a few gauntlet of things you're going to have to do if you want access to things in that building. And it's not to make you mad. It's not to inconvenience you. It's to make sure that when your child is going through their school day, they have to worry about nothing but getting their grades and doing their assignments and taking care of business.
Oh, yeah.
Good deal.
Well, and those are my newbies. So.
Yep. But thank you, as always, and,
Yes, sir.
and thank you for working on schedule swap here. That's why we're getting Brian on a different day and a little earlier.
You have messed my day up all totally here.
I am so good at messing up days. I almost take pride in it. I kid. Thank you, Brian.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. All right, 7:56. I don't know. My thing is barking at me about things that not existing, and this is that day where my automation system is not working as advertised. So I'm going to push buttons and see what happens in the next 3 minutes.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Artesia City Council this week has approved a request from Artesia Main Street to hold their annual Pearl Harbor Day event on December 7th. The Artesia Animal Shelter reported it offered free spay and neuter services to 42 animals before they were adopted out. The program was made possible thanks to outside grant funding. And the council also approved the proposed layout of the Armory Heights subdivision. The new housing will consist of two-story condos on the north and south ends of the lot. The rest of the land will be used for new single-family homes. The construction of the new housing is thanks in part to incentives recently passed by the Artesia City Council. Ring in the new year with purpose. The Pena Project is holding its annual New Year's Eve benefit fundraiser. The event, December 31st, will be held at the Artesia Country Club. There will be items available for auction and live entertainment. The Pena Project pays for the funeral expenses for those families in the community who are dealing with the unexpected death of a loved one and don't have the funds available to cover the costs. You can find out more details by going online to thepenaproject.com. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
I've talked about a number of jobs at risk because of AI so many times, and they're exactly what you'd expect. Receptionists, data entry clerks, low-level IT workers, website designers, and graphic artists. But today, let's add one more: country music songwriters and singers. The #1 country song in America today, believe it or not, is a product of artificial intelligence. I'm Kim Commando for Simply Safe. For Black Friday, you can save 60% on a new system at simplysafekim.com. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Keep on talking and walk my road.
It's called Walk My Walk by, you'll love this, a group called Breaking Rust. I use the word group lightly because there is no group. It's all AI. And today, it sits at the top spot on Billboard's ranking of digital sales of country music. Back in the summer, another non-group called The Velvet Sundan had a minor hit in classic rock.
Don't look away.
Milli Vanilli, where are you? Sign up for my free newsletter at getkim.com. If you've ever worried about the safety of your home, you need to hear this. Simply Safe is giving my listeners early access to their Black Friday sale. Simply Safe is the only security you should trust to keep your home safe. Typical security systems don't prevent someone from entering your home. They just react once someone is already inside. Real security stops a crime before it even starts. That's why over 4 million Americans trust Simply Safe. Simply Safe takes action before a criminal gets into your home. The moment someone steps onto your property, AI security cameras identify the threat and alert Simply Safe's live agents. These agents take action immediately, confronting the criminal, and if they need to, trigger sirens and dispatch the police. Simply Safe is like having your own personal security guard. And right now, you can take 60% off any new system with early access to Simply Safe's Black Friday sale at simplysafekim.com. That's simplysafekim.com for 60% off. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Passed by the House earlier in the evening, the legislation keeps the government open through the end of January, reverses the firing of federal workers by the Trump administration that began since the start of the shutdown. It also guarantees back pay for furloughed workers. Air travel, of course, was snarled because of the shutdown, and it may take some time to have the airlines get back to normal and unwind all of the earlier problems.
I will never travel again.
Marilyn Ross had it.
If I travel again, I will drive.
Airlines have canceled more than 9,000 flights since the FAA ordered a 10% reduction in air traffic to cope with short staffing in control towers, made worse by the government shutdown. Air traffic controllers went unpaid.
The air traffic controllers who didn't miss a day, they came for every scheduled shift that they had. They should get a bonus.
Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy echoing President Trump.
It'll be $10,000 depending on how many we have.
There is no timeline for when the flight cuts might ease. I'm Ben Thomas.
Crews have found the body of the coal miner missing since a West Virginia mine flooded last Saturday. That word from that state's governor this morning. Disney's fourth quarter performance was mixed. Its streaming business and theme parks were strong, but its TV networks and some films fell flat. Disney is still trying to work out a new licensing deal with YouTube after its content, including ESPN and ABC, went dark on YouTube TV. More at townhall.com.
My name is Whitney.
Here's an
Allen.
important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
The U.S. wants international action to end the supply of weapons to Sudan's Rapid Support Forces. The BBC's Tom Bateman reports on Secretary of State Rubio's remarks during a G7 meeting.
The Secretary of State said atrocities carried out by the RSF in El Fasher included murder, rape and acts of sexual violence against civilians, adding that women and children have been targeted in atrocities of the most horrific kind. He said the RSF, lacking its own arms manufacturing facilities, relied on outside support, and countries supplying it had to stop. Sudan's army has accused the UAE of supporting the group with weapons and mercenaries sent via African nations. The UAE has repeatedly denied the allegations.
Paris is marking the 10th anniversary of terrorist attacks that killed 132 people and injured hundreds. The attacks included gunfire at cafes and a massacre at a concert hall. News and analysis, townhall.com. Visa and MasterCard have proposed a settlement in their long-running legal dispute with merchants over interchange fees.
The change affects the Honor All Cards rule, which previously required merchants to accept all Visa and MasterCard products. Merchants may now choose not to accept certain high-reward cards due to the higher fees. Major merchant groups oppose the settlement, arguing it does not sufficiently reduce the fees, but Visa and MasterCard believe this is the best resolution to avoid a lengthy trial. The new settlement could impact how customers choose to use their credit cards. Bob Agnew reporting.
California state officials say they plan to revoke 17,000 commercial driver's licenses that were given to immigrants after discovering the expiration dates went past when the drivers were legally allowed to be in the United States. The announcement follows harsh criticism from the Trump administration about California and other states granting such licenses. More at townhall.com.
wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The Deuce.
The Deuce, indeed. Allegedly. Of Mornings with Mike. Yeah. The Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday.
Yes.
Hope all of you are having a delightful day. Don't forget, we do start some high school state tournament playoff action for you today. Volleyball. The Goddard Lady Rockets, they will start their playoff run for a blue trophy here at 4 p.m. today. You can check that game out at our website, ksvptv.com, and the Goddard Rocket channel. We will have an audio-only broadcast there. We're not authorized. We will be shot if we bring you video. So
on site.
On site, allegedly. So we're not doing that. So, so we will have audio for you. And by the way, for all of Goddard Rockets volleyball matchups between now and potentially a blue trophy on Saturday, you will catch all of those games in that Goddard Rocket channel at ksvptv.com. That's the we won't have those games for you on the radio. That'll be audio, internet-only broadcast.
Yep.
And the reason we're doing that is because some of the volleyball will conflict with playoff football.
Foosball.
Yeah, because we have, of course, the Roswell Coyotes. They play their next round of football playoffs Friday night, as they'll be here at the Wool Bowl hosting Berlin. And then we'll have that game for you, radio, right here on 106.5, Friday night, pregame starting at 6:30, kickoff at 7. Good news is we did procure the video streaming rights for that one, so we are able to bring you the video of the Goddard Rocket game on Friday night. Saturday, the Friday night, the Roswell Coyote game.
Coyotes, right.
Saturday, the Goddard Rockets will be in action as they travel to Lovington to take on the Lovington Wildcats. Unfortunately, we were unable to procure those video rights. They belong to Lovington.
Yes.
The Lovington Group purchased those. Therefore, we will be an audio-only broadcast right here on 106.5 for the radio. Again, 12:30 for pregame. Kickoff is at 1 o'clock. And then you can hear audio only of that broadcast at ksvptv.com in the Goddard Rocket channel there as well. Now, if the Goddard Lady Rocket volleyball team make it all the way to the state championship game on Saturday, that game will take place at 6 p.m. If they do, we will put that game on the radio.
Right.
It'll be on the audio on the video channel like it normally will be, but we will also put it on right here on 106.5 at 6 p.m. as well too. But Goddard's got to win some ball games first before we get to that point. So.
Got to go to work first.
Right. And conversely, Artesia's on the opposite side of that bracket. We will carry their games also audio only, ksvptv.com and the Artesia Bulldog channel. And I would imagine if both teams snake their way through the bracket, end up facing each other in a champ, because they're on opposite sides of the bracket. But once this is a double loss, so they have to lose twice to get eliminated.
Yep.
So if they lose early, one of the teams lose early, then they drop into what's called the losers bracket,
the tournament bowl,
and then they end up having to play a bevy of games to get battled back into the championship bracket. Right. So yes, they're on the opposite side of the brackets, but in theory, someone's going to have to lose somewhere at some point, and and they're going to have to manage their way up through the thing. But if they happen to square off, then I imagine we'll be doing 2 radio. It'll be on our sister station and everything else.
And if a winner can be determined, then sack races will be held on opposing Sundays until a winner can be determined.
And then we'll have tiddlywinks to the death if that doesn't.
Tiddlywinks to the death. Playing for keeps? Oh no. We're playing for death.
And then we'll have a pig roast.
That's fantastic.
And we will sacrifice the orange soda. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, we will have all of that for you here. And Don Wells hanging out here. Of course, he'll be on the radio with us from Bitter Lake here in a few minutes. But it did remind me something I checked out that I was going to recommend to Don anyway. Well, I'll just do it here on the radio because I think other people should check it out too. It's pretty cool. In case you hadn't heard, Veterans Day was Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And the day before that was Marine Corps birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Monday, but Marine Corps birthday.
Right.
Well, I think it was on I think they debuted it on Monday because that's when I saw it. Netflix premiered a pretty cool documentary. I think folks should check out. I know, Don, you would really get a kick out of it. It's called The Marines, and it's like a 3 or 4 part documentary, and it really follows some Marines here. This was done recently,
right?
And basically, it kind of peels back the curtain of life as a Marine and various different. They follow. So basically, they're following, I don't know, in the Air Force we called it a wing. I'm guessing like a Marine Corps division, whatever. I don't know what their knowledge is on that. But, yeah, it was basically, and so that this group is tasked with, they're the ones that they're in a 2-boat group, and they're in the Navy, and 1 boat's carried, and they're a self-contained unit where they basically got, like the attack helicopters. They got, in this case, F-35 fighters. But then they also have the sniper teams, the boat guys, the machine gunners, and in case they have to do things like a boat gets boarded, or they've got someone trying to attack the boat. Guess who defends it? It's Marines. That's what they do. But anyway, so they're actually, the whole documentary kind of follows this division as they're going through their major exercise, their certification exercise. So basically, they're playing war games. They're recreating what they do in a war environment. And while the top brass watches them and says, Dominus Ominus, you are sanctified and certified to go kill people around the world. So they're going through their training. And in a nutshell, that's what it is. But what I think, if you want to know the id of a Marine and why a Marine is a Marine and why they think, I think this documentary gives you an excellent insight. And by default, it also gives you why a veteran's id is way the veteran's id is, because it really dictates what these folks go through, and the mindset of, even from basic why they're in the Marines, and I'm telling you that, and this is even different, and this is where you kind of learn where Marines are, and this is why Marines are different than the other branches. It's part of it's the mission. Because they're the ones that go in first. They're the ones that, when you look at the roles of the military, Air Force and Navy, we're the guys that we pound and ground. We're the ones that soften the land. Then they send in the Marines to go handle business, and then the Army comes behind them to clean up whatever the Marines don't. That's kind of in the big picture how they work things out. So, in the essence, the Marines are always, to use a quote a military term, the tip of the spear. But this documentary gives a real insight on why Marines think they do, the way they why they are that way, and to be honest, the converse side, why we celebrate Veterans Day and why veterans are a barrel of monkeys when they're out, and why why our ids are the way they are, and why we are so good at certain things but so bad at other things. and I think that this documentary really gives you an insight on some of that, and it's really interesting. So obviously Marines and military, check it out. It's good because it's going to be a nostalgia thing, and you're going to, a lot of Marines are going to be like, oh yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, and as an Air Force guy, I know because I know their id. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And to be honest, everything that and the Marines, Air Force, we do the same things, just in a different way.
Right.
And our mission's different. Like, we're not gun-toting people. We're not walking around. That's not Air Force. That's Marines. That's what. But it is built that way. And so, their gun is an extension of them. It's no different than you and I and our arm. That's how they think, and that's how they, that's how they treat those things. And once you understand and it's pretty neat because one of the group is they're talking about the sniper guys.
Right.
And these are the guys that literally will sit, like, say there's a boat vessel over there, and our guys are going to attack it, board it, whatever. Literally, the sniper guys are sitting on the other ship calling shots and picking off people as the Marines are rolling up to go board this vessel. And in this documentary, I guess they were phasing those guys out. Like I'm sure they still use snipers, but whatever shore thing, I don't know. And so those guys are actually getting either they have to get out of the Marines or cross train or do something else. So they were you kind of see that side of it too. Don, I think do you have Netflix or it's on Netflix and it's called Marines and it just came out Monday and I think it's either 3 or 4 part documentary series and it's excellent. I just finished it up yesterday and it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It really,
I'd be curious to check it out. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean now don't get me wrong. It's military through and through. So if that bores you and guns blazing and acronyms and all, I mean it's a world of that because you're going into the id of the military mind. But it really to people that have never been in, trying to understand why they are, this will give you a little insight. This will give you a little insight on
to those folks who basically their knowledge of it begins and ends at Full Metal Jacket.
Well, and this is I think to be a Marine and to take the mindset of a Marine, it takes a certain kind of person. These are people that their goal in life is to kill people in the protection of lesser people. That's how their brains are built. They are the bullies for us. They can't wait to kill to protect those who can't protect themselves.
What you're saying
that is the Marine Corps' id.
They believe so deeply in peace that they will kill every man, woman, and child that they have to.
They are the peacemaker.
Yep.
If you watch the Peacemaker, that is the Marine Corps id. And you talk to they talk to these kids, and they're kids. They're 22-year-old kids, and they're talking, and they're all jacked up and tattooed up because that's the Marine Corps id. And but they literally, they dream about this stuff. They like all those Ukraine videos that we see online of the modern warfare. They're watching this, and they're all saying, "I can't wait to do that."
Right.
And that's no one in their right mind does that except for Marines.
It's kind of mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
When you really sit and think about the fact that the current military, the ones who are coming up in ranks right now, were not alive on 9/11. Like that's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
And this is kind of the thing you kind of get with some of these kids. And this is the part that like, how you talk about PTSD from combat.
Right.
Well, Marines and other veterans, too. I'm not just including just Marines. There's another one, too. But you see it more common with Marines and people that had jobs that were to kill people. Like the grunts, my job is to blow stuff up. I'm a sniper. I'm a machine gunner. My job is to go there and wreck things up.
Right.
And if they don't get an opportunity to do that in a real-world situation, they look at themselves as failures.
Right.
Like their brain is so built up that they didn't get a chance to do their job in real. And that is a PTSD triggering thing for them. I know that sounds weird, but that's the Marine Corps id. Like they've been trained their whole life to do this. This is what they're built to do. And if they don't get a chance to do it, they don't feel like their life is worth it, or their life is noble enough. They don't feel worthy enough to be that Marine or to be that person unless they get I swear to God, there's Marines, and this is the id that separates. This is what separates Air Force and from the Marine is Marines. There's people and the Marines. These kids will get in there, and these are 18, 20-year-old kids. They would be honored to die on the battlefield. Like there was one kid talking and he goes, I don't want to live long. My goal is to be killed on a battlefield. And that the Marines foster, I mean, that's the difference. Whereas any other environment, that man needs some help. The Marines foster that. And that's why it's different. And I don't know, and you can't, and this documentary gets into that a little bit. And that's why Marines are Marines.
Right.
And they got to be, because that's how the job gets
now,
done.
stop me if I'm wrong on this.
Yeah.
Isn't that what Lieutenant Dan said in Forrest Gump? That he wanted to die on the battlefield?
Yes.
Like, wasn't that the whole thing? He wanted to...
But that's a real thing. That's not just an acting thing. That's how these kids are. Yeah. And because of the training, because of that, and this is why it's so hard to unravel a veteran when you pull them out of that world.
They're looking for Valhalla.
Yeah, and that's why, regardless if you were in it or not in it, if you were trained to be in it, you're dealing with that afterwards. That's all I'm saying. And I think this documentary really, for people that don't never lived in that world or understand that world, or have family in that world but can never quite wrap their head around them, this will give you a little insight. This will give you a little, okay, I still don't get it, but at least I know where they're coming from. You know what I mean? You may not understand it or think it's right, but at least you'll say, okay, at least now I know how their brain's working and why it is the way it is. And so I know I got way too long talking on that, but it's really pretty good.
As soon as it was military adjacent, I'm like, okay. Buckle up, America.
And I've been meaning to tell Don about it. I hadn't seen him in a few days, and I was like, Don's right here. I'll just kill two birds.
There you go. Got it.
All right, it's 8:21. I'm going to play some things, and then I think I got some weather. I think there's a commercial. I still sing things that say they don't exist, but I think they exist. So I'm going to play, I think, weather, and I think a commercial break, and then Don will join us on the other side. Don't go away. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have a play next button now. How am I supposed to play this? I'll just hit this button. Let's see what that does.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty good shape all the way through the weekend. We have a strong high-pressure system parked in the desert southwest, and that's covering our area too. About 80 on the afternoon high today, except mid-80s for Carlsbad, and we get sunshine. A few clouds passing through overnight, low to mid-40s, and then we're expecting low 80s for the high on Friday, and we keep the sunshine. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
All right, Mr. Gobbles, it's that time of year again. Got any last requests? What? You want a smoking deal on a new Ford or pre-owned vehicle? Mucho dinero for your trade and your credit pardon? Well, you're going to have to go to Roswell Ford.
Hey, Roswell Ford is talking real turkey with our most aggressive offers in more than 5 years. Right now, get massive savings on new Fords and quality pre-owned vehicles with 0% financing and no payments till February 2026. Plus, if you're making payments on your current vehicle and want out early, Roswell Ford will do whatever it takes to help you escape from your trade. Even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, worried that your credit is a little foul? Roswell Ford has partnered with more aggressive lenders who will push to approve your credit, even if it's less than perfect. All roads lead to huge American-made savings and a better buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com.
0 APR for 48 months is $20.83 per thousand finance. Interest accrues from date of sale. Subject to lender approval. On select vehicles. Offers not combined.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Playing dance music can help ward off mosquitoes. Now you have a reason to invite Pitbull to your next pool party. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us now officially in studio, wearing his Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge hat, Don Weld back with us. Good morning, Don.
Good morning, Mike. How are you doing today?
Doing good, doing good. I got some good news and bad news. If you want to go out to Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge, the weather's beautiful right now.
Yes, it is.
And
perfect.
Great time to walk around and do some things. Unfortunately, the bad news is, even though the government shutdown is starting to unravel, it has messed up plans. Obviously, there's no staff there or anything right now. And unfortunately, we did have to cancel this year's Cranes and Cocoa event that was scheduled for this weekend because of the government shutdown.
That's true.
And so now that being said, the cranes are still going to be there. And if you want to walk around and look at cranes, ain't nobody stopping you. But we can't sit on the deck and drink cocoa.
Yeah, the government doesn't own the cranes.
Yes, they can't.
They
stop
do their
them.
own thing.
they do not answer to a government budget.
No, they don't care.
But as far as a formal event with a guest speaker talking and the cocoa and all that, we can't do that this year. So.
No, not this year.
But the entertainment is there. The cranes are there, or cranes are migrating in and doing their rest stops, and some probably settling down for the winter. Most are going to travel on to their next destination here. So.
Correct.
But you never know. There's always one or two that might hang out and lay down roots for the winter and take care of business here. So.
Most of the daytime, the cranes fly out from the refuge to the various areas around here to feed.
They're out.
They're looking for food.
Looking for lunch. Okay.
Now, at night, as the sun is setting, they will come back to the refuge to settle in for
That's
the
their
night.
motel room.
Yep.
So they're going out to the restaurants.
Yeah, they're going out to the restaurant.
And checking things out, and then they go back to their Motel 6 here at.
There you go. There you go.
Because they leave the light on for them there. I think I just cross-referenced about 6 different chains. But who
A little shout out to all of those.
Which, in case you didn't know, I usually try to start that. That's the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge for folks not familiar and new to the area. We have Bottomless Lake State Park here. We're blessed with some really cool parks here. Bottomless Lakes is really your recreating park. If you want to go and swim, probably not right now, but go and.
I don't know. There's some people that might.
You might. It is 80s during the day, but that water might be a bit chilly. But anyway, but if you want to camp or do those, that's what Bottomless Lake State Park is. Bitter Lake is a wildlife refuge. It's a preserve from the federal government that is there to protect, to enhance, and to stabilize, and really to keep our native animals and plant life, and it's a nature observatory. That's right. But by default, it's also a pilot flying J for migratory animals. It's a rest stop, service station for our migratory, your monarch butterflies, your cranes, various other species of birds that they'll be making their way south right now for the winter, and then we'll see them all coming back here in the spring. Going the opposite direction as they head back north.
Along about the end of February, March, April, along there.
But we have, and one thing, and this is where Don's a part of, we have an organization. The Bitter Lake Refuge has volunteers too, but also an extension of that is their Friends of Bitter Lake. And these are volunteers that they're the ones that run the visitor center, when obviously not right now because it's closed. But when they open that back up, the volunteers from the Friends of are running the gift shop there and everything else. Not to mention, they're the ones raising money. When you have the Butterfly Festival or the Dragonfly Festival, I almost gave it the wrong name. The Dragonfly Festival, because they do the Monarch Butterfly. It's almost like Monarch Dragonfly.
There you go.
But anyway, but the Dragonfly Festival, obviously, these are events that the Friends of Bitter Lake put on for education and connecting the public to the thing, but also a fundraising event. Because all these events and things, whenever you buy things from the gift shop, all of those proceeds go back to projects at the refuge. So, like that bird blind and everything you're enjoying, cranes and cocoa, that was from the generosity of people buying books and T-shirts and everything, and supporting the Friends. Any other of those kinds of service projects. And by the way, they're also some of the sweat equity labor force for as being a part of the Friends. There's service projects like if some of the trails need to be fixed back up, or some erosion issues happened here and we need to rectify that, or whatever we can do to and when, let's face it, when outside influence gets in on this area, we do everything you can to mitigate some of that. And so the Friends sometimes are helping in those efforts to do that. And some of the perks of the job is, because it's a wildlife refuge, there is constantly different entities studying not only natural history, but animal and human history on that property. Because not only is it, the pilot flying J and all the things, that was Native American hunting ground. So there's as much human history on that patch of land as there is natural history. And so from time to time, you get your National Geographic studying native stuff to plant and animal life stuff, or there's different projects. But anyway, there's parts of the refuge that the public just doesn't get to go to because your influence there would be bad, not good.
Right.
And so we really mitigate on who goes to those things. But from time to time, people need to go in there to do either some of these projects or there's some kind of service or work that needs to be done to fix the ecosystem in there. And guess who gets to go in there and do that? The Friends do.
Yep.
So you really do get to see and peel back parts of the refuge that the public does not. So that's kind of a perk of being a volunteer. And especially now that we really can't do anything, hopefully soon, because it looks like they're starting to say, hey, we should do our job again in Congress. But anyway, that's a conversation for another day. But it looks like they're starting to get their butts in line. So, things will start hopping fast here. But in the meantime, being friends, getting volunteers, raising money, especially in ways because we can't, the gift shop's off the table right now. That's lost income for a month now, or however long this has been going on. So, we got to kind of find out other efforts to do that kind of thing. So, the website's probably the best bet right now if you want to donate money and things like that, is go to the Friends website.
There are places on there that you can figure out how to.
Yeah. friendsofbitterlake.org is the website. That's the same place you go to when you look for Dragonfly Festival tours and stuff like that.
And the Cranes and Cocoa and our spring cleanup and things like that.
That's where you find that information.
Right.
And of course, the cool parts of, some of the fun stuff like Dragonfly Festival. That's, Dragonfly Festival is much bigger than just, dragonflies. It's, for years, the artwork, everything that's a part of this event, kids are involved, or it's all and so the artwork, the T-shirts. There's always the tradition of the contest where kids in just about every elementary and middle school in the district here participate in.
K through sixth
grade, so up till almost middle or into first part of middle school. So elementary school,
K through 5.
K through 5. So elementary school. Yeah, they submit their drawings and things, and it's really a lot of fun because it incorporates so many different aspects of the community. So. If becoming a friend helps to kind of garner that, to be a part of more of that, to create more of that too. Because let's face it, maybe with more volunteers, more people, we can do more things in a Cranes and Cocoa and a Dragonfly Festival.
That's right.
Maybe we can do more. More of the because some of the bigger parts of the Dragonfly Festival are popular are the tours, the wildlife tours and the Dragonfly tours. Maybe we can let's face it, sometimes demand exceeds supply on those at times, where we have not enough tour times and too many people want to see it.
That's right.
More volunteers, more opportunities. We can, we're not gonna have a Dragonfly Festival. We'll call it a nature tour weekend, and we just invite people to come out, and we're going to be doing Jurassic Park style. Hop in the Jeep, and we'll go do tours around the
there
park
you go.
here kind of thing.
There you go.
Minus the dinosaurs, obviously, but
no. Actually, there are some dinosaurs out there.
None that are going to eat you.
No.
Well, snakes, but they're not big enough.
Yeah.
They might make you a bad day.
Yeah.
But anyway, but more volunteers begets more opportunities to do things like that. So, if you would like to, be a part, I encourage you to be a friend and come and see, and especially and first off, if you've never been to the refuge, despite the fact that it's a government shutdown. During daylight, basically, you can go from about 6 a.m. till dusk, which is about 5 o'clock now.
Yeah.
When that gate opens, the public is welcome. Now, please stay on the trails, stay on the roads. Don't go gallivanting off into the woods and stuff. There, law enforcement, there are people that are still keeping an eye on things. And so
the sheriff patrols regularly.
Yeah, so if you're up to any chicanery, there's going to be some people that'll spot you. But you are more than welcome to go out there and walk it. I know folks like to, I like to. That's part of my hiking routine. Every day I go out there and hike a mile.
There you go.
Well, that's all game on. Now, not a lot of access to bathrooms and things like that because buildings are
they're
closed.
all closed down.
But so
even the
main
ones down in the corner.
Oh, okay.
They've even closed those.
So be mindful of that type of thing.
Right.
But as far as access to the land, you have it.
That's right.
During daylight hours, basically. So, what else is there about this? I know that I'm trying to cover as much base as unfortunately, like I said, the big news is Cranes and Cocoa for this year has been canceled. It's not happening this Saturday. However, like I said, the grounds are open. You want to go look at some cranes? Go look at cranes. Bring your own cocoa.
Yeah, there you go. And as soon as we can, we will open up the nature store. That is a tremendous spot for Christmas presents.
And absolutely, and you can get some amazingly cool books, literature, T-shirts. I mean, kids,
all kinds of things.
Kids' toys and toys they'll actually want to play with, not just they're enrichment toys. Sure, they're designed to,
but they're fun.
They're a lot of fun, and it's not just a stuffed. I mean, I'm sure they got a few stuffed animals, but it's not just stuffed bears and stuff.
No, this is
iguanas or whatever people have.
We do a whole lot for that.
I mean, and be honest, if you're a stargazer, I know you can't really hang out at night there, but hang out nearby. That's a pretty good, pretty dark out there, and a good opportunity to see some stars. Obviously, you can't be on the grounds proper at dark,
right?
But if you're not, nearby and want to set up a telescope, it's not a whole lot going on out there. I'm sure no one's going to give you a hard time, and check it out. Now, if you just don't be loitering out there, look at the stars. And
you got to remember, there are people that live just off the refuge.
It is the country, and they watch out for each other. And if you're out there doing things that looks shady, you might get a visit. Just saying.
That's right. and they don't hold back. I guarantee you.
But that being said, if I'm just saying that's a beautiful part of town to go see the night skies. And I know, especially if I don't know if you still have opportunity for the Northern Lights thing. I know we did the last 2 nights here.
Yeah.
But those are where you're going to see it. If you're down in your neighborhoods here, it's really kind of
you won't
bright.
see it,
you got to get out of town to go see.
I have a friend that lives out in that general area, and she sent me a picture of the Northern Lights from last night.
Yeah.
So looks good.
Good stuff. So, so that being said, yes, it is not open, but yes, it is open. Yes, it is open, but no, it is not staffed or any of that type of stuff right now.
So we can't have the
Now,
festival.
that being said, and to be honest, even before the government shutdown, with the government cutbacks, there wasn't really, they cut back on paid staff at that. Like, I think, is there one even? I don't even know at this point.
We've lost the manager. We're trying to get a replacement. We don't have an assistant manager. We have the people who, the maintenance people who do all of that.
Yeah.
We have some of the
Steve retired yet?
Not until the end of the year.
Okay, I knew he was short term, but I didn't know if he was still with us.
End of the year.
Okay.
So we're going to have to bulk up on our membership so that we can, our Friends membership, so that we can get another lead to do the
so it's going to be the onus is on the Friends to kind of
to keep
fill
that
the void here a little
keep
bit.
that dragonfly going. We've got all the information. We just need somebody to say, okay, you do this, you do that, and that's what Steve was doing.
So, folks, again, getting involved with if you're thinking, man, I love all this stuff. Now's the perfect time to sign up to
come
be a
out
friend,
and
to
say
join
hi
us,
and
be a
talk
part of it, and to be honest. It's as much of a social group as it is a civic organization. Yes, they're out there working, but they have a lot of get-together. Like all their meetings, there's usually food and potlucks and people chit-chatting. And, it is a family as much as it is a service organization.
We will have our January meeting, Friends meeting in January. That's our winter meeting. And we will have that. I don't have an exact date yet.
But good news is you'll be in between now and then. We'll have it locked down by then.
Usually it's around the third Saturday of the month. So keep
Which
that
is good because that's going to be in that lull of January where you're probably broke because taxes ain't coming yet.
Right.
You're out of money and you're still paying off Christmas. So a free lunch at a meeting might be a good thing.
There you go. There you go. Not only that, we tried to gauge it so that it doesn't interfere with the Super Bowl stuff.
Because you're going to lose to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah, that's it there.
We learned as an American Legion, because that's also right around the time that we normally do our Fort Chaplain ceremony.
Right.
February, the month of February, generally speaking, tradition dictates the first part of February, but and I know that's Super Bowl Sunday weekend usually.
That's right.
And we will lose that every time. So that's why we kind of
adjust
accordingly on
and we're going to do that ceremony.
Yeah, it's going to be
at Roswell
during the day, like at 1 PM or something like that.
Roswell
It'll
High.
be at the school in their I believe they call it the Little Theater. Is that little? It's that little room right off. Like if you go into the main entrance of Roswell, there's a little
off to the left.
Yeah, off to the side. There's a little.
We just had a veteran ceremony in there this last week.
Yes, where they did the veteran on, was it Monday?
Monday. No.
It was on Monday. Yeah, Roswell High did theirs on Monday.
Monday, that's right. Yeah.
Although I was like, that was earlier this week. My sense of time is really
last week was Goddard. This week
Goddard was Thursday. and then Roswell did theirs on Monday. Yeah,
Monday.
That's correct.
And then the university did theirs on
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
They did theirs on
Veterans Day.
On
That's
Veterans
right.
Day proper. Them and MI had their annual breakfast.
Yeah, Wednesday I was running all over the place getting care of everything else.
Yeah, you didn't get a chance to do food crawl for Veterans Day. You were busy.
Well, I did Tuesday night. I went to Golden Corral.
Nice. Got the
stuffed up.
Did you? Was it pretty busy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I know. In years past, I've gone by there and done, and they literally had lines like wrapped around the building.
They got them in pretty quick and got them fed and got them out so that they could rotate pretty quick. So they did real well this year.
Yeah, it's
they were planned for it.
If you're a veteran and starving on Veterans Day, it's kind of your own fault. I'm just saying.
That's right.
People are just throwing food at you, and we're so thankful for it.
There were places that had breakfast. There were places that had lunch. There were places that had dinners.
Yeah. Problem is, it's all the stuff that, because veterans generally are like us, a little long in the tooth. It's all the stuff the doctor says you still got to stop eating.
That's right. I'll tell you what, for one day, enjoy.
Game on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But getting back to Friends of Bitter Lake here, we always look at, and by the way, too, like I said, they're the ones that run the gift store and all that. So, if you know some of those, especially now that we're probably getting out of that season because the weather's turning colder. We have our kind of retirees that like to RV during the summer. A lot of times they'll kind of hold down the fort at the gift shop, and they'll kind of use that as a jumping off point. They'll
to go see other things.
Yeah, the refuge kind of says, "Hey, park your trailer here, hook up your power, water, toilet, whatever you got to do," and we'll. And all we ask is you kind of run the shop for a couple days a week during the time you're here. Obviously, that dries up a little bit during the winter months because people aren't RVing so much during the winter.
Right. We usually have somebody out there.
Okay. But I'm gonna say, if you know someone or anything that does that kind of thing, or maybe you yourself, like I wouldn't mind doing that.
It doesn't have to be an RVer. It can be somebody who lives here locally. If they want to volunteer,
sure,
go out there and talk to them, and we can arrange a schedule.
But if you happen to know someone that's out of town and they do that kind of thing, and say, hey, and you know what, dangle the carrot is like, you haven't seen me in years. Come visit me. Well, guess what? I can even get you a free spot to set up your RV.
That's right.
Oh, by the way, we got to work the gift shop twice while we're here. But no big deal.
A couple of days a week.
But it's free electricity, free hookups, free plumbing, and you have no excuse not to hang out and visit with me because that's the other thing too is they only work a couple hours a day, and then the rest of the day is theirs to do what the point of the whole they were there to begin with, and see, sightsee, and enjoy the offerings that we have here.
That's pretty much it. Is during the normal work hours, 8 to 5. They're in that range for 3 days a week.
And it's not hard work. You're literally sitting there meeting people and hanging out, and quite frankly, I'm going to take a stab as half of the volunteers end up doing their own shopping and probably spend $100. But by the time they leave, it's like I bought a bunch of books and I bought some shirts.
They do.
So,
I'm sure.
I was saying you might end up spending money, but it is really a cool thing.
And they get the education of the refuge.
Absolutely,
a lot more so than just a casual visitor.
Put it this way: arguably, you're going to have some of the coolest sunsets while you're up there and enjoying your time at your RV park and all that. Your nights are going to be because guess what? You get the perk. Talking about all the night sky things that you don't because you're not allowed in the park after dark.
Yeah,
if you're in an RV after dark,
you can see
in the park. Yeah,
that's right.
It's
and this Northern Lights. They're enjoying the Northern Lights out there now.
And not to mention, I would imagine life at night in the Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge is a completely different animal than it is during the day. Like the animals are out. You're going to see things that you probably most people don't get to see because you're there at night.
That's right.
You're seeing that, because animals, especially, your owls, your bats, they're all hunting. They're nocturnal, and let's face it, our temperatures dictate the rest of our, the birds and stuff. When it's 100 degrees out, they ain't working. They're hiding. They're hankering down,
cooling off.
But once the evening gets cool and the animals start coming out and everything, and then that's when they're out eating. So the plant eaters are like, oh, it's cool now. I can go eat the plants. The ones that eat animals saying, oh, the ones eating plants are out. I'm going to go eat them.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the food cycle continues. And
that's
that's how it is. So.
I have seen some tremendous. Because I've done this thing with the Friends, we put in the whole water system, the Friends group, the water system for the butterfly trails.
Okay.
And that was a major project. But the point is that we were there sometimes early morning before other people were there.
Okay.
And we would be there late at night. and we would see animals and wildlife that you wouldn't normally see because it was too hot.
Okay.
So. And we didn't want to work during the absolute heat of the day anyway.
Can't beat them, join them.
That's right. We'd get out there early and do our work and then stay late.
Maybe that's something. If you get enough volunteers, we'll call them the Friends of Bitter Lake Night Owls, and they go out and they go out and do some projects at night with, in my head I picture they got like the spelunking helmets on with the light on their head. Maybe not needing a helmet, but for effect, let's put them in helmets.
They had a deal out there about a barking frog.
Really?
Yeah.
That sounds like some joke we used to play on in the Boy Scouts. Did you hear that barking frog and you're really farting? They usually that was a barking frog. That's some Boy Scout joke.
There actually, you would think so, but there actually is a barking frog.
Okay.
And we actually got a recording of it.
I had an assistant scoutmaster. He had digestive problems, and they rerouted his plumbing, so literally he could. And so he would, at scout camps, he'd go, see that rock over there? And he'd step on it and let one rip, and he goes, that's a fart rock. so I grew up in scouting with all, that's a frog bark. Sure it is.
Yeah.
It's your fart. But
there you go.
So that's why I hear that. I'm like, is it?
Yeah.
I've been fooled one too many times on that
one. There are some strange things that go on out there.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But please, like I said, hopefully soon here we will start be able to open up the gift store here, and that can't come too soon because and like I said, we're behind the 8 ball on getting that money, and of course, let's face it, we're turning to your busy time of year for that gift shop with the holidays.
That's right.
Not only do you get visitors that are coming to visit, but you get people that actually come out to the refuge as a destination, go to the gift store to pick up Christmas gifts and do some Christmas shopping. So we don't want to miss that opportunity due to this shutdown. So the moment that thing's back up and running, we'll let you know, and we hope you guys come out in droves to go support and be a part of that.
Hopefully sooner rather than later.
And then, like you said, once we get past that battle, then we'll start filling the voids here to getting it back to the staff the way it is, and to kind of get it to pre cutback levels or whatever we're trying to do on that.
Right.
Kind of stuff,
we got to get some managers and some updated replacements for regular workers.
But that being said, the onus is going to fall on the Friends to probably upkeep some of those service projects and things. Because guess what? The animals are going to still need things. The plants are going to still do things. Guess what? The invasive stuff's going to keep trying to get in there and being invasive. We got to keep doing that. So just because there's not a government-funded thing doesn't stop
we can get in there and do our thing.
Yeah,
and help out.
Yep, it doesn't stop progress. Things are going to happen. Those animals still need to be looked out for. The plant life needs to be taken care of. Keeping and that's just it. When it comes to nature, they want to keep it as close to nature as possible. But man has touched it. We can't once we impact it, you can't do anything. So now the best thing is how do we keep it so it's copacetic, so man can still manage it, but it doesn't get out of hand and one thing overcrowds the other. Next thing you know, all the stuff native is gone because all the salt cedar took it over, and that's the fight we're fighting. And same thing with the animals. That's why there's the fences, and you get I love an oryx as much as the next guy, but they have no business being in southeast New Mexico.
That's right.
That's from a different continent. So that's the kind of stuff they're dealing with.
Yeah.
So. Don, is there anything we missed or anything we wanted to cover?
I think we pretty much got it.
Good deal.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Don, as always. And of course, again, friendsofbitterlake.org. Go to that website. You can learn more about the Friends. If you'd like to make a donation and help out now, because really that's the only source of revenue they have until that store opens back up. And again, we are so sorry, but the Cranes and Cocoa event that was scheduled for this weekend had to be postponed or canceled due to the government shutdown. That being said, the cranes are there. The park is open till dark. If you want to go look at some cranes, have some fun.
Yeah.
There just won't be any cocoa or anything formal going on. There won't be a guest talker or anything like that.
And if you get kind of dazed out and you forget and it gets dark on you, you can still get out.
They'll let you out.
Yeah.
You
can't get in.
It's the opposite of the Roach Motel. It won't let you in, but it will let you out. It's the opposite. Right. Whereas of course, there's the whole Generate Roach Motel. You don't ask the raid commercials. The roaches get in, but they don't get out. The Roach Motel. It's the opposite of that. So, good deal. But thank you, Don, as always, and we'll see you here next time. So I think is it next week we talk Alzheimer's with you? I think, which
I think
it's coming up. I don't remember. It's on my schedule here.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, thank you for everyone that turned out to walk to end Alzheimer's. No, it's a different hat, but
right.
It sounds like we had another great successful.
We had a very good
walk and
good walk.
Raise some money, and I think y'all hit your goals, right? If I remember right.
We did.
Yeah. So that's
actually we don't have Alzheimer's until next month.
Okay, so we're
good.
Okay, good. I don't know. I slept since yesterday, so. But thank you, Don. We appreciate everything, and we'll see you here next time.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, it is 8:50, and I'm not going to lie. My automation system is not. I don't know what it is. I'm going to start playing things and see what happens here. So commercial break. Some point. There's going to be some news, I think, and I don't know. We'll find out the rest here. So here we go.
Let's do some football previews since tomorrow we're going to have a lot of volleyball results to hand over to you. The state football playoffs actually continue this weekend. Tomorrow night you've got the Roswell Coyotes, second seed in Class 5A, hosting number 7 Belen, which beat number 10 Valley last week 50-23. Roswell had a bye. Goddard last week defeated number 12 Deming 35-14. The Rockets are the 5th seed. They'll play at number 4 Lovington. That'll be Saturday at 1. These two teams met back in September 19th. Lovington 44-26 on that day. And Class 3A, Dexter, the 2nd seed, taking on number 10 Ruidoso. That's Saturday at 1 o'clock. And NMMI, the 5th seed in 3A, playing at number 4 Pewaukee tomorrow night at 6. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell's Talk FM 106.5.
With your Pecos Valley news updates, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Artesia City Council this week has approved a request from Artesia Main Street to hold their annual Pearl Harbor Day event on December 7th. The Artesia Animal Shelter reported it offered free spay and neuter services to 42 animals before they were adopted out. The program was made possible thanks to outside grant funding. And the council also approved the proposed layout of the Armory Heights subdivision. The new housing will consist of 2-story condos on the north and south ends of the lot. The rest of the land will be used for new single-family homes. The construction of the new housing is thanks in part to incentives recently passed by the Artesia City Council. Ring in the new year with purpose. The Pena Project is holding its annual New Year's Eve benefit fundraiser. The event, December 31st, will be held at the Artesia Country Club. There will be items available for auction and live entertainment. The Pena Project pays for the funeral expenses for those families in the community who are dealing with the unexpected death of a loved one and don't have the funds available to cover the costs. You can find out more details by going online to thepenaproject.com. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
Good morning. Stocks open after the Dow rose the most and closed at a record high for a second day in a row. The Dow closed above 48,000 for the first time, and the Nasdaq was lower again, with some taking breaks from the high-priced tech and AI stocks. And money went into considered safer, non-flashy consumer product, healthcare, and energy stocks. Cisco, one of the first big internet companies back before the year 2000, beat its earnings forecasts and raised them because it's working with NVIDIA and AI companies, and Cisco stock was up 25% this year, and it rose more after hours. Fewer people can afford to buy a house. Typical age of first-time home buyers has risen to an average all-time high of 40 years old. Critics say President Trump's idea for 50-year mortgages would cost much more in interest rates over years, but some say that to them, the point is to get into a house and stop paying rent. I recommend a video documentary of famed investor Warren Buffett explaining how he started in investing. It's titled Becoming Warren Buffett on HBO. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report, sponsored by Abacus Global Management.
What if the future of finance wasn't built around averages, but around you?
At Abacus Global Management, we're reshaping financial planning around the most personal data point, your lifespan. But it's more than just insight, it's control. As a technology-driven asset manager, we're empowering investors with an integrated system to take command of your time, your future, your financial destiny. This is a new era of investing. Take control at abacusgm.com.
Medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Keon at Carabelli Dental. If you're missing teeth or struggling with dentures, I want you to know there's a better way. It's called 3-on-6 Dental Implant Solutions. It's the most natural smile replacement ever. With 3-on-6, you don't just smile again, you eat again. Apples, steaks, whatever you love, you eat it with confidence. And here's the kicker. Carabelli Dental is the only office in New Mexico and West Texas offering this advanced dental treatment. My team and I are experts in implants and in sedation. So while you relax, we will transform your smile. Call Carabelli Dental today and take back your smile and your bite.
Call 575-622-4455.
Some vehicles take you places. The Ford Bronco takes you everywhere. Where the pavement ends, the story begins. And the 2025 Ford Bronco is ready to lead the way. Right now, Carlsbad Ford has a big selection of Broncos on the lot, each one discounted with a special price for November. Plus, there's up to a $2,500 rebate on these rugged, adventure-ready Broncos. Don't wait. Come get the Bronco you've always wanted today at Carlsbad Ford on West Pierce in Carlsbad.
Check out some of the pre-Thanksgiving savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market. Select boxes of Duncan Hines cake mixes are 4 for $5, and select cans of Duncan Hines frosting are $1.98 each. In produce, snack-sized navel oranges are 4 for $1, and Jumbo Haas avocados are 99 cents each. In the meat department, honeysuckle white young turkeys are 99 cents a pound. Limit 1 per customer. Thereafter, $1.29 a pound. These are just some of the pre-Thanksgiving savings you'll find this week at your local Farmers Country Market.
Okay, sorry about that. I hit it to play the liner. All right, let's try again. Here it is. Let's try again. All right, it's not working. I was trying to play the liner. Right now, it's making me do everything. I'm sorry. I apologize. It's inside baseball, but our automation system, so no liner there because it's not playing. I don't know. So here in about a minute and a half, we're going to get you into top of the hour news. Stay tuned next hour here about 9:15 or so. We're going to replay our interview we had earlier in the week with Carrie Moore from the Chaves County Health Council. She's talking all about the big stand down event that's happening tomorrow here in Pioneer Plaza. It's going to be happening beginning at 10 a.m. Here downtown, and it's going to be an opportunity for folks to get all kinds of services. Excuse me, hiccups there, including starting the process for documentation to get their IDs back, medical screenings, enrollment for Medicaid. They're even going to be offering Narcan training and distribution, veteran services, flu shot, and even more, like they said, flu shots, wound care, hot meals. They're going to be serving up food for everyone that wants it, hygiene kits, winter supplies like gloves and socks and hats and what have you, and behavioral health screenings. They've got all kinds of resources. It's from 11 to 2 tomorrow here in Pioneer Plaza. So we had a great conversation with Carrie Moore from the Health Council talking about the event. So we're going to play that for you next hour to talk about that. Of course, if you missed our interview we had with Brian Luck, Roswell Independent School District Superintendent, he joined us in the 7 o'clock hour. It will be available by itself here after the show on KSVPTV.com in the mornings with Mike Winters channel. All right, it is cool. I'm not even going to try to play the illegal ID because I lost it on here. So you're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Hopefully we'll have some news here in a second.
It's 6% instead of rising to 10% by the end of the week. The agencies made the announcement as Congress moved to pass legislation ending the longest government shutdown in history. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says the 6% limit will stay in place while officials assess to see whether the air traffic system can safely return to normal. The flight cuts were implemented last week as more air traffic controllers were calling out of work, citing stress and the need to take on second jobs, leaving some control towers and facilities short-staffed. I'm Mike Hempen.
More than a week after that fiery UPS plane crash in Louisville, all 14 victims have been identified and their families notified. Wall Street early trading the NASDAQ down more than 1.5%. More at townhall.com.
Hey, it's Mike Gallagher, host of the Mike Gallagher.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
In Oklahoma after a tanker truck spewed anhydrous ammonia gas in a hotel parking lot. It happened in the town of Weatherford. Hundreds of people were housed in shelters, several nursing homes were evacuated, and schools were closed. The tanker is no longer leaking. More than a week after that fiery UPS plane crash in Louisville, all 14 victims have now been identified, their families notified. Here's Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg.
As we share the names of those who we've lost, our city feels the full weight of this unimaginable tragedy. Behind every one of these names is a circle of family, friends, stories that will forever be unfinished.
After closing at a record high yesterday, the Dow Jones is now down over 300 points in early trading today. Townhall.com. Women are getting around in Iran. Correspondent Keith Peters explains.
Women are increasingly seen riding motorbikes in Iran's capital, where laws and religious mores once barred women from motorbikes. It's part of a wider reconsideration by women about societal expectations. It's not all-encompassing, particularly as hardline politicians call for laws on the hijab or headscarf to be enforced again, as Iran cracks down on intellectuals in the wake of the 12-day Iran-Israel war in June. Still, it does represent a change. Keith Peters, Washington.
Researchers are reporting 2 promising approaches to counteract malaria's growing drug resistance. Novartis says a new experimental drug tested in 12 African countries shows a cure rate exceeding 97%. Another study in West Africa also effective. More at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The devil listen, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 3.
Crazy viernes.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday.
Yes.
It is full on Thursday, sunny, nice. It's supposed to be, once again, another day in the low 80s.
Yeah.
Can't complain.
I can at certain times of the day.
Yeah.
Just because since the time change, I've sort of had to adjust some of the ways I avoid this direct sunlight at certain times of the day, because now it's in a different spot. So now some
it's
of my
hour behind.
Yeah, so now some of my sweet spots aren't as sweet anymore. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. You have to adjust your time accordingly.
So,
I lost my shade.
Yeah, I'm sitting at a stoplight yesterday, and I had my window down, granted, but it was just like the sun was right here, not in the sky. It came to Earth and was like, "Hey, Sean, how you doing?" Right here. It was so hot.
Because it gets lately this time of year in this, right now it's not bad, but and it used to not bother me when I was a fatter, or we'll just say layered Mike Winters. Now that I'm a less layered and less haired, I'm straight up freezing in the afternoons in this room.
Yeah.
I put my coat on and I it's to the bone cold. So I ain't gonna lie. When I get out of here, I go out in the sun. I just want to sit there a minute. I'm just I know it's hot.
Sure.
I know I'm sitting in a coat, but this feels delightful.
And there are moments where I enjoy, direct sunlight, especially coming out of a building, like this that's temperature controlled. But yesterday, and I didn't even get into it, but by the way, huge thank you to the folks at Del Norte for letting us come out and do Thanksgiving lunch with Hunter.
I think they said basically they had double the meals through district-wide that they were serving yesterday because of the Thanksgiving lunch.
I had heard a rumor they had priced them higher this year to kind of try to keep the crowd size low. That didn't happen.
Stop. Yeah.
It was packed
yesterday. That was just the elementary school round. I think middle school's later this week, and then they'll do a high school one.
I don't know that middle school does it.
According to Brian Luck, he said there will be a middle school one here on another date. I can't remember what he said. It's in the interview.
I hadn't heard anything from Rhiannon's
because we talked about that. Because we said because they get to the high school, it's like at that point I'm thinking parents and no one wants either one to be there.
Yeah, you don't want to be seen with your mom at high school.
Right.
Ew.
Yeah. So,
but
they do have it.
But it was the reason I brought it up was because for a good portion of the weight, because they break it down by grade, and for a good portion of the weight, we were standing outside, and you could just see like the entire crowd of people were just like pulling up their collars to just like hide their necks. I was just covering the back of my neck so I didn't get, instant redneck.
Right.
But yeah, that sun was brutal for the first part of the day. But once we got in the building, everything was
nice.
Was fine, except for you get this mindset that we were being herded. Like we were being herded one way, and then I saw people being herded out the other way. I'm like, this is, you give people, you get people's kids involved, you can herd people like cattle.
Yeah, well, well, then it turns into Disney World.
That's a fun life lesson.
It's like, hey, we're going to go on the teacup ride. Let's, but obviously probably not a teacup. Maybe, I know like, now it's been a minute since I've been to Disney World, but when I went to Disney World, I don't know, it was half dozen years ago. I got the big ride was the Avatar thing at the Animal Kingdom.
Right.
And it was a cool ride. All 3 minutes of it for about 3 hours of waiting.
I was wondering, good solid, couple hours. The hot one right now, I think, is the Star Wars.
Yeah, that side. And I know and to be honest, that Tron cycle was being built. Like I saw it under construction when it was being built. I think it's one of the newer ones. And that one's in Tomorrowland, if I remember right, in the Magic Kingdom. Whereas the Avatar thing is in the Animal Kingdom, or whatever they call that one in Disney World. The one with the tree.
Yeah, I think it is called Animal Kingdom.
Yeah. But, and I've never been to Disneyland, so I've never been to that one. But
I've never been to either.
I think that's just Magic Kingdom, right?
I think so. The closest I've ever come to it was when I was 8 or 10 days old. My dad had just won a contest, I think through either his work, I think it was through his work, and he got a trip to Florida to this place called Gulf World. My mom had just...
Right next to Gator World.
Right there next to Gator World. But my mom had just given birth, essentially, and Dad's like, we're going anyways.
To you or Ben?
To me.
Okay.
Me. Yeah, I was 7 to 10 days old.
Okay, gotcha.
And from what I don't know anything from this trip, I don't remember anything from this trip, but from what I've gathered, my mom handed me off to a Jamaican lady, and they just went off and did their own thing.
Good for you.
I know, right?
No wonder you love plantains so much.
That's exactly what it is. That taps into my love of jerking meats.
He's like, give me the jerk chicken.
That's right.
Down by the beach.
Down by the beach. She went, "Oi, child, with you crying again."
Samson Simpson. I can't remember my story.
Samson Simpson. Oh,
sorry. All of our Jamaican references go to half.
It's got to be. It's that clip.
That's our id. Sorry. But yeah, that's funny.
That was a fun trip from what I've seen in pictures.
Well, and Florida's like that. Like I remember like this was when I was young, because my grandmother went with us, was still with us,
right?
And so it was my youngest, my brother, who was 5 years younger than me, and he was probably 6, so I was maybe like 10, somewhere in that ballpark, 11. Right. He was around that, and so we went and we stayed on the Disney property, and that was, I remember, but because we drove our car down, we weren't beholden to the Disney property. You know what I mean? So we got to go off and went to places like Gator World, and there was like some gift shop. I don't even know if it still exists. That it was this big orange in Orlando, and it was a giant orange, and it was just basically selling towels and T-shirts and junk.
I think I've seen pictures of that place. Yeah.
You know where else we went to, which doesn't exist anymore? Cypress Gardens.
Ooh.
If you think of the old, like the can girls on jet skis, that's pretty much Cypress Gardens.
Like every weird lake, vacation that people took in the 60s and 70s, was like that. Like it was like people doing the pyramid,
and
the pyramid on jet skis and stuff, and that's kind
of some mafioso guy in a weird suit and a cigar in the corner. Yeah,
that's like kind of what it was like those pictures that I've seen from that trip was. It's like mom and dad on a water slide, mom on a jet ski, and then there's me and Miss Cleo just kicking it in lawn chairs.
Hey. Actually, you probably had a good time.
I did. I mean, it set me up to just watch them have fun.
You got the insiders game, the local game. You're probably. He's like, your folks are like, they're at Cypress Gardens. You're like at some bar in a craps game.
Right. Just sitting in some smoke-filled room while a random game of Pai Gow poker's
While
happening
your
in
parents
front
are
of me.
looking at Florida, I'm going to show you Florida.
Come with me, boy. I'm going to take you to real Florida.
That's right.
I'm going to show you how it's done.
We're going to get on a TV show called It's Florida Man. If you've ever watched It's Florida Man, I highly recommend y'all do. It's on HBO Max.
Okay.
Or Max or whatever they call themselves now. And there's 6 or 7 episodes. And basically the whole premise of the thing is comedians take actual stories that happened in Florida of these people, and then they reenact the story with celebrities. But they get the actual person involved or people involved that are narrating it. So, and each of the stories are weird. Like the first one is like the dude that got drunk and decided he needed to go into the swamp. And he did, and got his arm bit off by a gator, and then survived in the swamp for a couple days, going through the whole thing. And then, so basically he's like this crazy Florida gator guy.
Right.
And so that's like the first. But then it gets into love triangles and all kinds of bombing, like a kidnapping attempt. I mean, and it's all comedians like there's one, and you name and Stephen Root is the narrator.
Okay.
Like if you they put a disclaimer on at the beginning, it's like warning about that's Stephen Root, and he's doing his Florida accent. And but then they get there's all famous comedians.
I can imagine
and actors.
like a Nick Offerman doing something.
Yeah, he's in there.
Like
what's
a
her
Danny
name?
McBride for sure.
What's her name from the Scary Movies and Mom and the blonde?
Oh, Anna Faris?
Yeah, she's one of them.
Okay, that tracks. It sort of sounds like a less drunken version of the show Drunk History.
Yes.
Which I absolutely love.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite shows to watch. Like if you ever get bored on like a random Saturday, you can just put on a 2-hour marathon of Drunk History and you'll just laugh the entire time.
Absolutely.
And learn something too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a very entertaining. They don't. It's all rerun. They don't have new ones of those.
I don't think that they have new ones.
Yeah.
I've heard that there's that Derek Waters, the guy who makes the show, that he's working on like a movie.
Where does Comedy Central house all their properties? Is it on Hulu or is it Paramount?
Paramount, I believe it's Paramount.
I'm trying to think where they keep all their stuff. I don't know, or Prime. I don't even know.
Yeah, because Viacom is owned by Paramount, so it would be a Paramount Plus situation.
Gotcha. Okay, I was trying to think of, and South Park's on all of them, so that's a hard game.
No, South Park so the whole contract situation boiled down to now Paramount Plus is the exclusive home for anything South Park.
Oh, okay.
Like even old episodes are now.
Well, that must have
housed on-
changed because usually the old Comedy Central shows were available on the.
Well, the deal that Matt and Trey signed essentially was Paramount Plus exclusive because they were. It's a long story,
Okay.
but they were working.
But I'm pretty sure at some point you could watch South Park on like Max or Prime or not
because
Prime.
they signed
or Prime proper.
They signed a streaming deal for the archives and new episodes on HBO Max, and then they signed a deal with Paramount Plus for essentially movies, like TV movies.
Right.
And those two deals clashed, and it wound up with Matt and Trey getting basically $1.5 billion for the next 5 years.
Oh, well,
Over
that
the
pays
next-
for Casa Bonita.
Over the next 5 years, yeah.
Because they sunk in how much money into Casa Bonita?
Right. It was an exclusivity deal they signed with. So South Park Studios is now under the umbrella of Paramount Plus.
Since that documentary and all that, like, is that Casa Bonita going and blowing and doing its thing right
they're
now?
Still,
I haven't.
From everything I've heard and read, it's still like a week out to get a reservation.
Okay.
Like it's still popping.
It's still.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like I want to make a pilgrimage and do that.
At some point, I have to do that.
I think I'd like to try it. I mean, I just to say I did it, just to say because
we were near it like a week before it reopened because we had gone to Denver or that area for a concert, and so we were there like right. No, I think it was like right after it had opened, and they were dealing with months in advance reservations.
Okay.
So.
Well, good deal. I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
I see a screen. I've been like, pull back the curtain. I'm not in control of anything right now, so I can't even play what's next because they're doing things. But it came up, so I'm going to do this. We're going to play our interview we had with Carrie Moore from the Travis County Health Council. I think I have control of things right now. I'm going to hit a button to see if I play weather. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if it's going to happen next, but they're scrolling. So I'm going to play next here and see what happens.
Let's find out.
Let's find out together.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty good shape all the way through the weekend. We have a strong high-pressure system parked in the desert southwest, and that's covering our area too. About 80 on the afternoon high today, except mid-80s for Carlsbad, and we get sunshine. A few clouds passing through overnight, low to mid-40s, and then we're expecting low 80s for the high on Friday, and we keep the sunshine. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 55 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 30%. Winds are calm at the moment. Partly cloudy today, 82 for a high. Winds will be out of the west, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Cloudy tonight, overnight low of 43. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday, sunny, 83. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Friday night, mostly clear. Overnight low of 45 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Saturday, another day in the 80s. Sunny skies and a high of 83. Northwest winds at around 5 miles per hour. Sunday, sunny and 80 as well. And then Monday, we start getting cooler. 73 on Monday, 70 on Tuesday, 66 with a 20% chance at showers on Wednesday. At least that's what they're telling us right now. All right, it is 20 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let me... Oh, where is my automation system? I don't know. Is it this one? Or is it this one? I don't know. It's one of these. They're in there doing things now, so I can't see what's going on. So let's do this. I can't even play a break. How do I get to my... Because they're in there messing with my system, and they're doing something where I want to... Maybe if I go to this one. Hold on. I need to get back to the automation system. How do I do that, please? Where is that? I don't know. I can't find it, so I'm going to have to let them do it. So, hey, Jocelyn, let me know when you're ready. I'm just going to start playing the interview, and I'll try to play the commercials later because I can't get into my automation system, and they're in there working around right now. Sorry. So let me know when you're ready on your end and give you... Okay, she is. So, okay. So, actually, let me get ready on my end because I'm not. I was going to do the commercial break to do that here. Let me pause this bad boy. Sorry, we're doing radio on the fly right now as I'm trying to navigate through this. So on Monday we had it was Monday. We had Carrie Moore with the Chaves County Health Council join us talking about the big stand-down event that's happening tomorrow from 11 to 2 here on Pioneer Plaza. And it's a partnership with, of course, the Chaves County Health Council, 100% Chaves County, with Many Hands, Food Not Bombs. Chaves County, they're together with Veterans Group as well, too. All part of that's organized this event. So here is our interview with Carrie Moore from the Chaves County Health Council. Enjoy. This County Health Council. Carrie Moore back with us. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you today?
I am here.
You are here. That's a start.
An hour earlier than normal.
That's true. I appreciate that. Well, nothing is normal today.
Right. Well,
in my world.
I heard.
But it's good eventually. But anyway.
You'll work it out.
It is. It's one of those things. It's like you got a new car, but you don't know where any of the buttons are, and that's part of the problem. So,
and that's part of the fun at the same time.
Yeah. Except when you're driving 50 miles an hour and you're looking for that certain button.
It's like, how do you turn on the windshield wipers? Yeah.
Where's that button? Like I got my Jeep not too long, and it's got that auto stop hot mess that you ever had a car, like when you get up to a traffic light and it shuts off and then...
No, my 2002 truck still has the AM FM cassette deck.
I have a vehicle that doesn't now, and I'm not a fan. And so I always forget to turn that off, but I never remember where the button is, and so I'm like, now where's that button at again? So I understand that. So I'm basically doing that till I figure the system out.
Yeah.
But Health Council's pretty busy right now. A lot of things going on. A lot of things have been happening. A lot of things on the pipeline here. It's a busy time right now.
Yeah, the fall usually is. We kind of did something a little different this year. The Together with Veterans program has decided they wanted to do a stand down.
Yeah.
We originally had it planned for February.
Okay.
But the reality is February is too late in the season, because part of that is being able to supply homeless or near homeless with
Gotcha.
the supplies necessary to get through the winter
and by
months.
February, they've long needed it by then, and
Yeah.
everybody starting at that point thinking about spring stuff.
Right, yeah. And that's kind of was my point. It's like, in February, we're kind of like hitting 80.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to need, these
Yeah.
warm hats and gloves anymore.
Although it is New Mexico, they will have one freeze in April. Or
Right,
something.
yeah. Yeah, there'll be that one day that we have to have it.
Yeah. But so we said, hey, let's do something here around the Thanksgiving holiday, and so we can catch them while it's still 70s and 80s, and when it does, it's going to be 35 tonight. I mean, we are getting those.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, so it is in need now, but let's see, and of course this is a cool event that you all really, like I said, kind of put together pretty quick over the last couple weeks here.
Yeah, put it together really fast. And what happened is that With Many Hands was trying to figure out how to get documents for anybody who's living on the streets or coming out of jail.
Sure.
They don't have their birth certificate, Social Security, driver's license anymore. And it makes it difficult to get housed, to get medical
benefits.
Anything. You have to have
yeah.
those documents. So we started with a meeting on trying to figure out how to coordinate those services.
So they can get their drivers or get an ID.
To get an ID to be able to get them off the streets and get them into a house, or to get the behavioral health care that they need.
But
or
you can't get an ID without an address, and so there's
right.
the rub.
And yeah, so we were running into all these things, and we decided that let's just start putting an event together. We got the Department of Health that's going to be there to do some waivers to be able to get birth certificates. And then, of course, we're starting to roll through the rest of the guidelines. So some of the stuff that we thought we were going to be able to just pipe out right then and there are going to have to take a little backseat. But we have found ways of working within the system to make it happen.
Gotcha.
So
starting the process at least.
Right. So, if they have some of their supplies or some of their documents, we can get them their birth certificate on Thursday. But if they don't, then we can keep working in the background and continue to get the documents necessary to help them get that. Alianza has stepped up and said, we'll be a document bank. So if you are on the streets and you don't have any way to secure your documents, we'll house them for you.
Kind of like a safety deposit box type
basically,
mindset, basically.
So that kind of is helpful, especially if them coming out of jail. The jail does give them some documents that can get them what they need.
Okay.
But most of the time they lose it before they finalize and get what they need.
By the time they get their depending on what their next, because let's face it, people getting right out of the correction facility, their first goal usually, let me get my paperwork in order. They're ready to get a burger, a beer, or something.
Yeah. Or all of it.
Or all the above.
Right.
Or something more a little fun. But anyway.
Yeah. So, it's we have to break some of these barriers. I mean, everybody has the same thing. It's like nobody wants to see the homeless on the street. The homeless don't want to be on the street for the most part. I mean, there are some people who just do not want to be housed.
There's always a small percentage.
But that's a very small percentage.
99% are wanting something better.
Right.
Yeah.
And the reality is if they weren't dealing with behavioral health issues, if you're taking the meds necessary for your behavioral stuff, would you still want to be living on the streets?
Right. It's a catch-22, and this is really all of this stuff.
It's
and okay, this person's crazy, we can't employ them, but they're crazy because they need mental health treatment. Once we get them treated, they're not, and I'm sorry, I'm just being very liberal terms here, but they're not a problem anymore. They can function in society and work, but we can't get them there unless they do this, but we can't get them to do this unless we do this. And that's the problem that we're running into. It's this circle of runaround.
Right. And so we have to start dealing with some of it. And then, the other part to it is we have to cut off the faucet so that we stop pumping them into that system.
Right.
So cut the faucet and then start helping those that we can help get out of
Absolutely.
it. For a while, we'll still be in the same problem with housing.
Yep.
Because even if we can get them the behavioral health or off the drugs or in the services that they need, we may not be able to get them housed because we don't have housing here.
No place to put them, yeah.
Right. And so that's a huge problem.
Well, and this is why, again, you talk about With Many Hands and some of these other organizations that are partnering with the Stand Down event here and Health Council and others. It's the other side, too. It's, back with these, the housing program, helping landlords that own properties that are pretty disheveled. Let's get them fixed up. We can start getting some. We can get you a tenant.
Right. Yeah.
We get you a tenant in there, and you start making money that cleans up the neighborhood. This person gets a foundation to start their lives in any direction they want. This is really a great program, and that unfortunately that's how we're going to fix that housing thing, is get more people on board with these landlord programs, getting other property and community owners to offer up their services and things to this as well too, or something similar too.
Yeah, and it has to be into the affordable rates, because doing a 1-bedroom, 1-bath at $1,200 a month is not affordable for anybody.
Nope. Well, and this is and we're not as dealing with this as say like an Artesia that deals with like FLETC issues and things like that, because the people that stay at say FLETC or law enforcement training, any of that stuff, they're there for a year or two, and they get like the military. Or not military, the government pays, allows them substances, and they pay well.
Right.
And so landlords will be like, well, since you're FLETC, your rent is $1,300 a month. If you know what I mean. So that drives up those prices.
But we do have that here.
We do, absolutely correct. Fortunately, we don't have it as to that point of what they deal in that thing. But either way, that's what we're combating is, hey, there's something, because we do get trickled down from that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we get trickled down from that, and then we have all the traveling nurses and all the other traveling professionals that are in this area.
Yeah.
And then, of course, because there is no housing in Artesia and Carlsbad where the overflow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think it's bad here? Artesia's got a much more affordable housing issue than we do. Not trying to say, well, gee, compare and contrast. I'm just saying.
Because they have less housing.
We have to combat that. Now, granted, we got 10 times the people, 10 times the homeless, 10 times everything else than they do.
And the flood didn't help. Because we still have people who are living in their cars and not in their homes from the flood.
And flooding turned people that were on the edge anyway. It's no different than those fires in Ruidoso. People that were barely living, barely keeping a house, barely keeping bills paid or not. Now that just got knocked over the edge, and they're homeless now. And they're and I'm telling you, there's still people, like you said, from the flyer. There's still people from Ruidoso fires are probably
still here in Roswell
with homeless issues or couch surfing or whatever, things that technically aren't homeless but are homeless kind of thing.
Well, I was in a meeting last week, and the school district reported it was 136 homeless students already.
That's crazy.
Last year it was over 200. So we have a huge homeless problem. Mm-hmm. We don't necessarily see them sleeping on the streets because couch surfing is homeless.
Absolutely.
We have an unstable society.
Absolutely. And this is the point I try to make to everybody. This isn't a conservative thing. This isn't a liberal thing. This is a humanity, and we got a problem. Yes. We got people, and we don't have the resources to take care of these people, and more people are coming. Regardless of how you feel about the not my backyards and this, I know everyone's got opinion. Everyone wants to help homeless. No one wants to actually help homeless.
Right. Yeah. Honestly, that's true.
And so we gotta blur that line and actually help homeless, because this is a logistical problem. You say what you want about emotions and spirit. We got bodies. We don't have no place to put them. We've got to figure this out. This is nothing to do with politics. This is humans trying to help humans.
Yes.
And this is what it's all about. So people, I get it. You have hang-ups and you don't want this, and the man is doing this or whatever we build up on Facebook and social media on, this is a cover-up for this or whatever, we all start doing. No, people don't have a place to sleep. People have no sources to get food. People have no sources to help themselves get these things. We have to help them do this. We have to fix it. Otherwise, guess what? They're going to be loitering in the streets. They're going to be doing all the things that you hate. We're trying to correct.
Well, and the thing is there was nobody on the planet that was having the world's best day and said, you know what? Today is the day I think I'm going to try heroin for the first time.
Exactly.
Because, by golly, my life is going grand.
Yeah.
That's not how that works.
Everyone's so hung up on how they got there, and it's like, we can figure that out later. Let's figure out how to get them,
Well, they don't want help. It's because they don't see the other side of it because they've never been on that other side of it.
And to be honest, you got to convince them. They don't want the strings that come with the help sometimes. And that's what, there's a rationale for everything. Homeless folks generally have built walls and created whatever self-defense mechanisms they have to survive. Whether it makes sense or not, that's not for you to understand.
Right.
What it is you've got to crack that armor to get to it, and some are easier than others. But regardless, we got to do it. And I will. I'm not. You know what? I am doing it. I don't care. I hear a lot of Christians and a lot of people that talk about being Christians. And last time I checked, Christians I don't remember Jesus asking if you're a Republican or a Democrat, or if, matter of fact, I remember him helping a lot of people that we would consider the dregs of society today. And that's what our whole faith is based on. And if you're not willing to do that part, I got to call you to the carpet on. Are you really, are you truly living the Christian values you espouse to live to? I'd call that into question if you can't see what we're talking about here.
Yeah, that whole, during the election season, the whole neighbor helping neighbor was the thing that was pushed out the most.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know what? Just because they're living on the streets, they're still your neighbor.
Exactly.
They are part of this community, and we have to help this community.
Mm-hmm.
It's ugliness, and, people don't understand the police department and the fire department on the way they do some of the things that they do, but they see the worst of the worst.
Right.
So even what we see on the streets, trust me, it is nowhere near what they're seeing. And if we can't help with some of the worst and start fixing some of that, then over the years, then that's how they become on the streets. And
Absolutely.
we have to, we all have to work together. And
the more you ignore this problem, the worse it's going to get.
Yes, and we've been ignoring it for years, for decades.
And that's just the plain truth. And you can have all your opinionated Facebook powwows about, is it right to do this or not? And at the end of the day, while you sit there debating that, more people are continuing to be homeless, more crime, more all the things that you're not wanting is going to happen.
Yeah.
So you can either roll up your sleeves and let's find ways to get people IDs and get people in touch with resources and independent and get them into the mental health resources that they need, if that's what they need, or whatever it is. We got to start getting these individuals on the path so they can better themselves, so we can better our society. And that's how it works.
And it may not happen today.
Yeah.
That conversation might not take hold today.
Yeah.
Have that conversation again tomorrow.
Yep.
And keep having that conversation with them, because eventually it does work.
Yep.
It's the same with domestic violence and everything else. You have to be in that right space to be able to understand the hand that is being offered for help.
Yep.
And it takes a while to get there.
Absolutely. And so let's start with a stand-down event.
So, yeah.
Well, Carrie and I just leap off our soapboxes.
Putting you and I in the same room together is not necessarily the best thing.
Exactly. Well, and again, pull back. We see a lot of things just because the nature of what we do in the community. You see a lot of angles and things, and I understand people's opinions on things, but you're not seeing the big picture. Sometimes you're seeing your little slice, or you're being told whatever avenues you pursue to information, that's what you're seeing.
Right.
And you're not seeing the big picture.
Right.
So that's all we're talking about.
Yeah. So part of seeing that big picture is being able to do something like the stand down.
Mm-hmm.
And so for us, the stand down is wraparound services. So we are going to have out there, Department of Health, we'll have flu shots. Truman will be out there doing some testing. We're going to have
kits for supplies for homeless,
right?
Hygiene kits and grooming kits and first aid kits and things that meals. I mean, the
wound care,
the literal Band-Aid stuff to get immediate needs, but also tapping into the long-term needs. All right, how can we get you an ID? How can we get you a home? How can we get you?
We'll have the ones who provide the drug rehab system into it to see if we can help get that.
Yeah.
The Together with Veterans piece focuses on the veteran part of it, but we don't know who the homeless veterans are, right? So we have to open it up to the entire community that's homeless or near homelessness.
This is around Veterans Day or Thanksgiving holiday. It's kind of smack dab in the middle here.
Right.
But yes, if you're veterans or know of veterans that are in these situations, I know there's a lot of people that do work with churches and various other organizations and let's get them to this stand up, come, load up the wagons or whatever we got to do and get them down here, at least get them fed and a flu shot or whatever, healthcare and stuff. And maybe we can convince them to start, getting an ID or start down the path to getting some resources.
Get them the case manager so that they can start their behavioral health or their drug assistance needs or whatever it's going to take.
But it's kind of, and this is where I was kind of talking about that defense earlier, where, to survive, it's no different with domestic violence victims or homeless. You build walls to protect yourself. You build, your trust in people and humanity is usually zero, and you think everyone's about to screw you in some way, shape, or form. And so, to be honest, the food, the stuff, that's chipping away at that a little bit.
That's why there's food, is to bring them there.
It is the carrot we're dangling to try to to instill trust and to say, hey, we're not here to round you up and to cart you off to another homeless camp or whatever has happened to some of these people.
Right.
And let's quite frankly, that's, you don't know the whole story on some of this stuff. There's a lot of distrust in all this stuff. And so we've got to pick away at that one chip at a time, and it's going to take time. And so please, let's start by, hey, coming out to Pioneer Plaza beginning at 11, come down, let's have some food. Let's sit down and talk, and let's see what go from there.
Right. And, I just want to keep reiterating. I mean, it's for homeless or near homelessness. I mean, we do have some people who have houses, but they have no utilities working at all, or they're living in the sheds in the backyards. That's near homelessness.
I would definitely call that near homelessness. Yeah. If you don't know where your meal's coming from tonight, or where you're going to lay your head down at night, other than it's not something that you're paying a rent for, or if it's your friend, that's homelessness. That's what it is. Like if you're living in a motel, that's homelessness.
Right. That is.
I mean, that's really it is. If you don't have a place that you send your water bill to, or your Netflix bill to, whatever it is, besides your phone.
You don't have a warm, safe, stable environment.
Yeah, that's homelessness. Yeah. And that's what we're talking about here is please, let's start seeing what we can do to fix this, to put yourself and your family or your individuals and like I said, this is a stand down, and yes, veteran kind of sponsored and led, but if you're in homeless or near homeless, or if you're couch surfing, or if you're literally living in the man camps or somewhere in between that,
right,
please come, please join us. And I would offer this too, if you're just hearing about this and you're on the other side of the spectrum, you work in the service industry,
right,
you work on this, come join us too, and let's see where you can get involved to see what, because the Health Council and the stand down together with veterans, all these many hands, Food Not Bombs, all these organizations.
Food Not Bombs is going to help us do the food. I mean, because we're having the food brought in, but we need the volunteers. Yes. So it's a lot more food, and we'll have to serve it. So we need to make sure that we have enough volunteers there.
But we'd love more people to get involved and be on that community side thing. So
right.
if you can help out on that, please reach out.
Yeah, and if we haven't talked to you and you provide a literal service, that'll work. Call us at 211. We probably can still find room to get you into the event. We're not doing a paper event. This is not, let's pass out flyers and tell them what they can do in the future. This is literally, you have to provide some kind of service that they can see now.
Soup to nuts type. You have something in hand, something tangible that we can offer at that moment.
Right. That's exactly what that is.
Yeah.
If volunteers, if you are working within the homeless population, please spread the word to them, because there is a lot out there that won't know that this is going on and that they need to kind of come into town to see this.
Or there is the distress factor. I mean, we are dealing with that a little bit. Oh, yeah, that they're just going to, and so you got to kind of,
right.
And let's face it, we live in this world that, ICE agents, everyone's afraid of that kind of stuff. And we want to kind of say, no. We're not rounding up people. We're not doing any of this stuff. We're just rounding up resources in one location. If we're rounding up anything, that's what we're doing. Allowing people that need it to come and take advantage of it at one centralized location. That's all we're trying to do.
That's all we're trying to do.
And it starts, again, this November 14th, which is what, Thursday?
Thursday,
yeah. I'm trying to. Today's the 10th. Right?
No, that's Friday.
It's Friday. Okay.
Sorry, Friday.
Friday.
You confused me.
Well, it's November 14th, whatever day of the week that falls on.
Friday, November 14th.
Pioneer Plaza, right here downtown, beginning at 11 a.m.
Right, 11 to 2.
And like you said, if you need documents for IDs, medical screenings, enrollment for like Medicare or any of those other types of programs, Narcan training and things, the dealing with the fentanyl overdoses and, the training on that, that's a lot in the homeless community and
right.
Understanding, saving lives and that type. whatever, regardless your thoughts and feelings on Narcan and all, it's saving lives and doing a lot of great stuff. And we need to make sure that everybody, kind of like how we all just know how to work like certain things in society. Like everyone should know how to work a phone. Everyone should know how to work a Narcan.
Yes, because fentanyl doesn't just affect the druggies, the bottom of the bottom. It could be grandma who has painkiller meds who forgot that she took some before, and there could be an accidental overdose. It could be somebody got into somebody's medicine. I mean, look at Albuquerque with that little kid that got into grandma's meds. Yeah. And if it wasn't for the fact that the hotel worker knew how to work Narcan, saved that baby's life.
Yeah. I mean, even as common as like law enforcement are dealing with a thing and getting to pockets and then they get it. And I mean, that fentanyl stuff is that deadly. You can accidentally get exposed to it in so many different ways.
And it's more than fentanyl because, I mean, it's
it does the heroin and all the...
Yeah, and painkillers, the Oxy and
it's Vicodin. With that, I'm not a doctor in any way, shape,
I'm not either.
Whatever opiate that runs all that stuff, that's what it stops.
Yeah, that's what it's called, is the opioids.
Yeah, the O word. They can make some of the goof pain, the googie juice. But anyway, everyone should at least be. It's like CPR. I think at least you should. You know what I mean? Because you never know when you might have to bust out that skill training. But and obviously veteran services, flu shots, and that types of things. But also getting the Band-Aid immediate needs, a hot meal,
the hygiene kits to get them through the winter. So we'll have the beanies, the gloves, the socks,
warm clothes, socks. And folks, if you can donate these things, please reach out to, I know Food Not Bombs. You could call the Health Council 211.
Right.
She can tell you, say, hey, look, I've got socks, or I've got, and I'm telling you, for homeless, things like socks are a godsend. That's the biggest one. And I would even offer, if you can, go with like wool or socks that can get wet and still provide warmth. And I know wool's one of those substances. I think there's probably a few other materials you can use to. I'm not that genius. I just know wool's one of them. But find things that will keep them warm and but comfort too. You can get a little foofy, but think about it. Things that are designed to keep them warm when it's 32 degrees out or colder. Right. That's what we're thinking. And most of your heat comes out your head or your feet. So beanies and good socks are key for life and death sometimes, believe it or not.
Right, and sometimes, they have to do a couple pairs of socks.
Absolutely.
Just because it's so cold.
So, do some shopping, if you'd like to help out, and then please reach out to 211, and Carrie will be absolutely happy to tell you where to direct that type of stuff to, because there will be someone.
Yeah, because I get calls all the time, with the food stamp situation, where can I donate food? Well, this is a good place to be able to send it.
Absolutely. Can I ask that too? If there's people dealing with the government shutdown stuff, is there going to be any kind of resources there for that? No. Or is this mostly veteran stuff too? Okay.
This is homeless or near homelessness.
Well, this government shutdown keeps up, they'll be in that category. I'm just saying.
I know. There's not enough resources to be able to do what is needed for that piece to it.
There lies the big problem with everything. There's never enough we can do. It's just so much if you keep adding. But what about this? But that being said, if you are dealing with that type of stuff too, don't hesitate to call 211. I'm sure you can put them in touch with some people that might be able to steer them and say, hey, call these. I know it's a limited because unfortunately there's a lot of people in the same boat and not enough people able to help all of those people in that boat, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's we only have a small amount of resources here. And our needs are getting greater.
Yeah. But that being said, please reach out to things like Harvest Ministries and stuff. They're doing food baskets and things for people. And if
there will be, issue. They just did a food basket this past weekend, but there'll be some more Thanksgiving events coming up where you can get your stuff for your meals. And we'll start putting that out on our social media and sharing that so that way people can see that and have access to it.
Absolutely.
And that'll help with some of that, alleviating the food insecurity piece to it.
But please come out and join us here, or if you're on the other side and you want to get more involved in supporting and helping resolve this problem, please join us this Thursday or this Friday, November 14th. from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. right downtown here in the Pioneer Plaza. It's the plaza with all the statues and everything right across from the courthouse lawn. You can't miss it.
Yep. And then, you'll get the organizations, with many hands that is doing a lot of the outreach, 100% Chaves County, Food Not Bombs, and again, the Chaves County Together with Veterans.
Because they are looking for more volunteers, more resources. I know if you spend any time on social media, you've seen some of the struggles that some of these organizations are dealing with right now in terms of trying to just get to people and help people in the red tape of which it comes with it. So the more eyeballs, the more people, the more folks they have supporting and being a part of it at their disposal to help on this type of stuff.
It's we the people.
It's easier for them to do the good work they're trying to do on that. And you know what? There's a lot of crap being swirled around on Facebook. If you have a question about something, go to the horse's mouth. If there's something about Food Not Bombs, you're like, what is going on? Ask them. I'll put you in touch with them. They'll be happy to tell you what they're doing and what's going on with it and all that type of stuff. And then you can separate the crap online versus what actually is happening on some of this stuff, because there's a whole lot of that in this world, and people inserting their opinions on things and what and again, it kind of gets to my point at the beginning. Is we're trying to help people. We're not trying to help Democrats. We're not trying to help Republicans. We're not trying to help Christians. We're trying to help human beings.
People.
None of it matters about the rest of it. Right. And so we're not putting those bars in there, and we're asking you not to either. That's all we're saying.
Right.
Even though you're trying really hard to. Call 211 if you have any questions about anything. Is there? I know we're running on time, but is there anything else other than the stand down that we want to make sure we cover?
No, that's pretty much all I wanted to cover.
Okay. And if you have any more questions about this, or if you are hearing and you're like, I get it. I want to get involved. Please call 211. That's the easiest one to let Carrie disseminate to where you need who to talk to. But if you just kind of give her what you're proposing, and she will tell you exactly where you can be the most benefit, kind of thing.
Yeah, because this is just the beginning of the homeless piece to it, because we're doing the pit count this year.
Yeah.
So that's going to be another outreach to figure out how many homeless we have in the community.
And if you know what, if you're a veteran that, you know what, my food's good, everything's good, join us on Friday here and meet our Together with Veterans group. Maybe we can get you to be a part of it, because we're
the connections.
They want more veterans involved, because it's really a veteran-led, it's veterans trying to find out veterans' needs and putting a plan together to tackle those needs.
Yep.
And that's
see a need, feel a need, veteran style.
That's kind of what they do. So, did we get it all? Anything?
I think so.
Awesome, Carrie. Thank you very much. As always, appreciate their visits and what you and all the various organizations you dabble with get to do. And thank you again. I know you didn't hear it because you were, but if you don't know, you saw those amazing Veterans Day posters honoring them. That's from the brain of Carrie Moore. So we do appreciate every year you bring our creative side to our events and all that too. So,
I try. Thank
amongst the other stuff when she's not knee deep in a thing of soup or something trying to help people. She's drawing. Thank you, Carrie.
You'll work with our amazing team to build and maintain accounts and dive into advertising and marketing promotions. Experience in sales is preferred and bilingual opportunities are available. Base guarantee plus bonuses and commissions. Apply now. Email your details or resume to hireme@pvbcradio.com. Take your career to the next level with Pecos Valley Broadcasting, an equal opportunity employer.
If you suffer from pogonophobia, you would not want to attend a party with the following people: Kenny Rogers, Santa Claus, Willie Nelson, the cast of Duck Dynasty, and 2/3 of ZZ Top. Here's Mike Winters.
With your Pecos Valley news updates, I'm Jared Cirillo. The Artesia City Council this week has approved a request from Artesia Main Street to hold their annual Pearl Harbor Day event on December 7th. The Artesia Animal Shelter reported it offered free spay and neuter services to 42 animals before they were adopted out. The program was made possible thanks to outside grant funding. And the council also approved the proposed layout of the Armory Heights subdivision. The new housing will consist of 2-story condos on the north and south ends of the lot. The rest of the land will be used for new single-family homes. The construction of the new housing is thanks in part to incentives recently passed by the Artesia City Council. Ring in the new year with purpose. The Pena Project is holding its annual New Year's Eve benefit fundraiser. The event, December 31st, will be held at the Artesia Country Club. There will be items available for auction and live entertainment. The Pena Project pays for the funeral expenses for those families in the community who are dealing with the unexpected death of a loved one and don't have the funds available to cover the costs. You can find out more details by going online to thepenaproject.com. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Violent crime has plunged in Chicago since Donald Trump launched Operation Midway Blitz. The president declared victory after a weeks-long showdown with this pro-sanctuary Democratic Governor J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson. And he pointed out, I am proud to announce that Chicago, Illinois, despite all the radical opposition and obstruction we have from the mayor and the governor, has seen car theft, shootings, robberies, violent crime, and everything else drop dramatically. He said since the launch of Operation Midway, shootings are down 35%, robberies are down 41%, carjackings are down almost 50%. And as we ramp up assets, these numbers will continue to drop, just like it worked in Washington, D.C.
The Conservative Underground meets later today on the Sean Hannity Show.
We are seeing something really disturbing. Anti-Semitism on the rise. College campuses, halls of Congress, punditry world, around the world. Sadly, right here in America, Jewish schools are being targeted, synagogues threatened. It was a tourist in Midtown Manhattan beaten and attacked in broad daylight. Why? Because he was Jewish. Okay, never again is right now. And I don't know what part of hundreds of thousands of missiles fired into Israel. Israelis murdered on October 7th. Murder, kidnapping, torture, rape, beheading that some people don't understand. What would you want Americans to do? What would you expect your government to do if we were attacked this way? The International Fellowship of Christians and Jews, they're on the front lines. They're providing all the humanitarian assistance to Jewish families under threat, and they're helping people rebuild their lives. Your gift, whatever you can give, and your support is life-saving work. Please donate generously. 888-488-IFCJ, 888-488-IFCJ, or ifcj.org.
Weather this hour brought to you by Southwest Bearing under new ownership. Custom solutions for your heavy equipment. Hydraulic hoses, hose repair, bearings, seals, sprockets, belts, tools, fluids, and fittings.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We're in pretty good shape all the way through the weekend. We have a strong high-pressure system parked in the desert southwest, and that's covering our area too. About 80 on the afternoon high today, except mid-80s for Carlsbad, and we get sunshine. A few clouds passing through overnight, low to mid-40s, and then we're expecting low 80s for the high on Friday, and we keep the sunshine. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton, and that's your latest forecast.
Grab your boots and your cowboy hats and gather up the whole family for a boot scooting night of dancing and fun. Friday night, November 14th from 8 p.m. till 11 p.m. at the Sheriff's Posse, 1403 East Poe in Roswell. Featuring the danciest hits and a dance floor big enough for you and the whole gang. It's only $5 per person or $10 for the whole family. So gather up the group and get ready for a night of boot scooting fun. For more info, contact Julie at 575-910-3764. We'll see you there.
Ready, set, hurry on down to Tate Branch Roswell, where we finish first. Experience the Tate Branch difference here at Tate Branch Roswell, where business is done the Tate Branch way with honesty and integrity to deliver an exceptional customer experience. We have a huge selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs that are priced to move and are backed with a lifetime powertrain warranty. It's all backed by friendly, hometown customer service that puts you first every time. So don't wait. Head on down to Tate Branch Roswell right here at 2000 West 2nd Street and drive home happy happy today. Tate Branch Roswell. Come experience the world-class experience you have been waiting for.
Looking to start, continue, or complete your higher education journey? Join the more than 6,000 fellow Greyhounds on their journey to student success. Eastern New Mexico University offers the most affordable higher education degree in the Southwest, and New Mexico residents can go to school tuition-free with the New Mexico Opportunity Scholarship. With online or in-person degrees, ENMU is the right choice for you. For more information, visit enmu.edu. ENMU, student success. That's what we're about.
Mulan has the highest kill count of any Disney character. When asked for comment, Buzz Lightyear responded, "To infinity and beyond." Here's Mike Winters.
Hey, good morning. It is closing in on 10 o'clock. That is going to do it for us for today's show. If you missed any part, I invite you to go to our website, ksvptv.com. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. There you will find all of our videos. This morning we had Superintendent for the Roswell Independent School District, Brian Luck, join us. Don Weld with Friends of Bitter Lake Wildlife Refuge. And, of course, you just heard our interview with Carrie Moore from the Chaves County Health Council. Again, all of those there, ksvptv.com. in the Mornings with Mike Winters channel. All right, that's going to do it for us. Y'all have a great day. We will talk to you bright and early, 7 a.m. tomorrow. Till then, take care.
The Great One, Mark Levine.